Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Welcome back to Danbury. We're just minutes away from puck drop between the Prowlers and the Hat-Tricks. The final weekend between these two teams, final two games of this regular season series. Will Wiggleman with you on the PHP Network. Thanks again for joining us again here tonight. And before we get to tonight's puck drop, of course, we have to take a look back at the last games for both of these teams. And, well, both of them were shootout wins for the Hat-Tricks. And we start with last Saturday night as the Hat-Tricks defeated the Prowlers 6-5 in the shootout. Port Huron led that one 4-1 after 2 periods of play, but the Hat-Tricks tied it up at 4 within the first 5:22 of the final frame of regulation, then tied it up again at 5 with under 90 seconds to go, and with the extra attacker out, Dylan Hullaby with his second of the period. That was the tying goal late in the third, and that sent us to what was a lengthy shootout. 7 rounds of the shootout, finally won by Gleb Van Durken. His first attempt, we saw a few players go 2 times in the shootout, but Van Durken on his first and only attempt in round number 7 got the winner. It's the 11th comeback win for the Hat-Tricks this season, and the 13th game that the Prowlers have lost this year where they have held a lead at some point. Port Huron has lost a total of 21 games, so nearly 2/3 of their losses this season, the Prowlers have had a lead. Hat-Tricks weren't done last weekend, though, as they played in Watertown on Sunday in a game that followed a similar script. Instead of a 4-1 lead, though, it was a 3-1 lead for the Wolves heading into the third, as the Hat-Tricks ended their 3-3 weekend. Connor Woolley scored the only shootout goal in the second round after he and Johnny Ruiz scored in the third to tie things up. And once again, the Hat-Tricks coming up with a victory in a game where they trailed by multiple goals heading into the third. And the Hat-Tricks end up picking up 7 of a possible 9 points on the weekend. So they have gotten themselves some breathing room up in second in the Empire Division on Watertown and Port Huron. Dashers are not mathematically eliminated. I did make that mistake last weekend, but they are not mathematically eliminated. They can still catch Motor City for that final, 5th and final spot. That would be a play-in game. While it's not very likely, it's still technically, mathematically possible for the Dashers Hockey Club to have pro hockey in Danville. Well, the Hat-Tricks captain Johnny Ruiz made a triumphant return from a couple-week absence with injury last weekend, and he had a good weekend. 5 points, 2 goals in the 3 games. Both of his goals were game-tying goals. He tied the game on Saturday at 4 against the Prowlers, and then tied the game at 3 on Sunday against Watertown. That one against the Wolves was with under 5 minutes left to play. So Ruiz with a big weekend in his return from injury, Hat-Tricks captain and co-head coach. The Prowlers seeing some new faces in the lineup tonight, and one new old face in the lineup is Vinny DeCumbis, who played with GDT Bellinzona Snakes in the Swiss League this season. They did not end up making the playoffs, so DeCumbis able to come over for the rest of this season to play with the Prowlers. Over the last 2 years as a Prowler, 29 points in 55 career games. And the reason he's eligible to play right now is because the Prowlers released him all the way back in November before the failed to report deadline. If you remember, if you're new to the league, anyone who fails to report to their team by the end of November is no longer eligible to play, but the team can retain their rights. But the alternative is the team can just release them. They can be a free agent, and then they can sign back whenever they're available. So that's what the Prowlers did with DeCumbus to protect his eligibility. He'll have to play all 15 remaining regular season games to be eligible for the playoffs. So there is no margin for error, no margin for scratches or injury for Vinny DeCumbus, but certainly a good face to have back for the Port Huron Prowlers. A good defensive forward, someone that Matt Graham trusted on the power play and the penalty kill over the last couple of years. We take a look at the lines for tonight's game for the Prowlers. DeCumbus and Dylan Marty slide into the third line alongside Kenny Stiles. Marty will be making his pro debut tonight, and like DeCumbus, he played his college hockey at Lawrence University, 2 years at Lawrence for Marty after 2 at Framingham State University. He is signed as a collegiate player, so he does not take up one of those roster spots for the Prowlers, just one of those 5 collegiate spots that every FPHL team is given. DeCumbus will take up a standard contract spot, but Prowlers still within the limits now thanks to Tristan Sim and Ben Brockway heading to IR. But when those two are ready to come back, Prowlers may have some decisions to make. The top 2 lines staying the same: Stephen Deasy, Jamie Bussell, and Reggie Millette. And Lucas Lockney, Matt Graham, and Austin Federley, of course. Joe Frazee is the scratch tonight. As far as the skaters go, it's been a while since the Prowlers have had a skater scratch. But tonight, it is Joel Frazee. The defense pairings staying the same as well as they were last Saturday night here in Danbury. The lights are down here at Danbury Ice Arena as we are just moments away from getting the starting lineup for the Danbury Hat Tricks, and then we will be underway again to kick off the final regular season series between these two teams, but certainly a good chance for these two teams to meet in the playoffs. Let's take a look at tonight's Orthopedic Associates starting lineup for your Port Huron Prowlers, and it will be that third line of DeCumbus, Stiles, and Marty. So Dylan Marty getting the start in his pro debut. Adam Heinzel and Braden Simmons-Fisher, who made his pro debut last weekend, is your starting defense pairing, and Valtteri Nusiainen back between the pipes for another Friday as the Prowlers continue to alternate between Nusiainen and Reed Cooper, and I would expect Reed Cooper to go tomorrow night for Port Huron. As the Hat Tricks announcing their starting lineup, it's going to be Ben Durkin, Frolov, and Woolley up front. Woolley was scratched last Saturday night when the Hat Tricks and the Prowlers faced off, but he did play the hero on Sunday in Watertown. Kyle Gonzalez and Zach Pamaleon are the defense pairing, and Connor McCullum between the pipes tonight for Danbury. Let's take you down to ice level for tonight's national anthem.
Equipment manager Bob D'Alessio, assistant Jack Blunt, JP Cuccio, and athletic trainer Adrian Denver. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, at this time we ask that you stand if you're able, remove your caps. Direct your attention to the flag as we honor those who protect our freedom with the playing of our national anthem. Playing the national anthem tonight, please welcome Danbury High School Marching Band.
Danbury High School Band on tonight's national anthem, moments away from puck drop between the Prowlers and the Hat Tricks. Hat Tricks' only roster change since last week is Chris Hunt no longer with the team. So, but everybody else that you've seen for these Hat Tricks over the last couple of weeks still around as they get the band off the ice, and we take a look at tonight's starting goaltending matchup. Well, same as last Friday night. The Valtteri Nusiainen same as a couple of Fridays ago. Valtteri Nusiainen and Connor McCollum. That one was back at McMorran Place, but those two will do battle as Nusiainen trying to bounce back a little bit here. He's lost his last 3 starts. 0-3 against the Hat Tricks this season, but this is his first start at Danbury Ice Arena. Meanwhile, McCullum has beaten the Prowlers in 2 of his last 3 starts over these last couple of weeks, and he'll try to do it again. Still some great numbers for both netminders, but certainly the starters, as you can tell by their records for each of their respective clubs. Once again, if you're just joining us, Vinny DeCumbis back with the Prowlers, has to play all 15 remaining regular season games to be eligible for the playoffs. Dylan Marty making his pro debut tonight, also in the starting lineup for Port Huron. DeCumbis will be wearing number 96 now for the Prowlers instead of his usual 23, as Joel Frazee has occupied 23, and Dylan Marty will be wearing number 88 for Port Huron. Now I guess we have a quick ceremonial puck drop as well before we can drop it for the real thing here. Again, DeCumbis with some good experience in the Swiss League this season, and he was able to come over with enough time to be able to be eligible for playoffs. But again, there is no margin for error for Vinny DeCumbis. He cannot miss a game the rest of the way, or else he will not be able to play in the Commissioner's Cup playoffs. And Prowlers would not have brought him over here if they did not plan on him getting some playoff action. He had 1 assist in 3 playoff games last year for the Prowlers. It looks like still some more ceremonial puck drops here tonight from Denbury. Waiting for tonight's official puck drop. See Kyle Gonzalez and Austin Federley over there, part of this ceremonial puck drop from Danbury Ice Arena. This is the final time this weekend that the Prowlers and the Hat Tricks will face off this regular season. But it may not be the last time these teams see each other. Of course, with the Prowlers now in the Continental Division, or in the Empire Division, no longer in the Continental Division. They have the opportunity to face off against the Hat Tricks in the first round of the playoffs. And if they can jump past Watertown, it will be a likely 2-3 matchup between Danbury and Port Huron, as Danbury has secured itself, or at least given itself some comfort in that second seed in the division. Finally, we're set to drop the puck for real between Gleb Van Durken and Kenny Stiles, and we're underway in Danbury. Zach Pamaleon moves it up, it's tipped in, and Nusiainen out to play it behind his net. Simmons Fisher couldn't bring it in. Stiles cuts off the centering feed from Frolov, and Stiles over to Simmons Fisher. Prowlers look to work out. It's Marty up to DeCumbis, and he touches it in, heads after it himself. DeCumbis around towards Stiles, bounced off his stick. Pamaleon made a pass towards the wall, it came to Frolov. Simmons Fisher recovers in neutral ice, throws a reverse hit on Van Durken, and then dumps it back in. Port Huron in the midst of the game's first change. 40 seconds gone here in period 1. Prowlers send out the top line tonight, DC, Millette, and Bussell. Dylan Hullaby, who had 2 goals last Saturday against the Prowlers, brought that one up. Newberg had it come back to him, sends it on goal, and it rose too tall. Hullaby gets it deep. Bussell first on it there. And now Thelstrom steps out, drops it back for Bussell. Now he flies up ice. Bussell steps around Hullaby, gets around LaBelle, but Josh LaBelle picked his pocket, tries to start a counter, gave it away to Millette. On his backhand, sent it through. Not sure if that got all the way to McCullum or not. Robinson up the boards, right into Thelstrom. Makes a move with the blue line, down low, looking for DC. He couldn't touch that one on net. Charlie Bedard able to loft this one out, and both teams get some fresh troops on the ice. Austin Federley, the Prowlers captain, tosses it in right on McCullum. Couldn't bring it in cleanly, and Federley chopped at it. LaBelle with it, spinning on Lockney. Lockney steals, got it to Graham, and he has to go back over by the boards. Federley cycles it down and around. Graham left it there for Lockney, but LaBelle got there first, and he rims it up to Vasiliev. Back over towards LaBelle. Had some trouble with it. Vasiliev pokes at that puck. Federley kept it in for a moment. Ratcliffe able to work out with it. Lockhart trying to glove it down. Now Vasiliev sidesteps a check from Lockhart. Federley takes control. Prowlers look to work their way back up ice. Vasiliev all over Federley. Van Durken takes the puck, but we will get our first penalty of the game. Just 2:25 in. It's a hooking call against Alexander Vasiliev, and the Prowlers power play gets a chance to operate. They went 0 for 4 last Saturday against Danbury, 18.1% this season, 11th in the league. Hat-trick's power penalty kill, also 11th in the FPHL at 77.2%. Off the draw, comes back to Millette. Thought about loading it up, instead he goes over to Lockney. Johnson to Lockney. Austin Federley is now down a little deeper. He's usually up high on this power play. Different look now for the Prowlers. Here is Federley. He couldn't send that one across. Movalle on him. Graham up high to Millette. Tried to feed it across. Van Durken got his stick in the way and sent it out of play. So again, different look here for Port Huron on the man advantage. Austin Federley typically manning that blue line. Now it's Alex Johnson up top. And Federley was working his way around in the bumper area and down low. Prowlers trying anything they can to get this power play out of the funk it's in. Lockney thought about taking it on goal. Now he works up high, takes the shot, he rose it too tall. Johnson after it, able to cycle it back down deep. Federley around for Graham. Back to Federley. Prowlers settle back up. Millette to Federley with some space. Shoots it across, looking for Lockney. They couldn't connect cleanly. Lockney turns to the net, is shot off a stick and out of play. Halfway through the penalty to Alexander Vasiliev. Prowlers with a couple of attempts towards the net. They still are looking for their first goal of the game. Still looking for our first shot of the game as well. So Prowlers send out a power play unit of Bussell, DeCumbis, Simmons, Fisher, DC, and Lockhart. Off the face-off, Ratcliffe collects, and he tosses it out. Lockhart and Ruiz after it. Lockhart takes the handoff from Nusiainen. Weaves his way up ice. Lockhart with a head of steam. Tried to go over to DC. He and Ratcliffe canceled out, and it's sent down ice by Popoff. Simmons Fisher threw a big hit on Jordan Popoff after that dunk. I hope to see this power play unit set up. Want to see where Simmons Fisher is, whether he's down in front or if he's up top. Looks like Simmons Fisher will be right in front of McCullum here. Shot by Bussell, changed direction, kicked out by McCullum. Simmons Fisher now. Tried to go back to the point. Ruiz right on him, and Ruiz able to bounce it out of the zone, but it hit the linesman. Prowlers play it back to their own end to regroup in the final seconds of this power play. That was the first shot of the game from Jamie Bussell for either side. An unsuccessful man advantage for Port Huron, as Woolley able to toss it in. Federley to Thelstrom. Slides it up to Austin Federley. Prowlers move up ice. Graham gets in, tried to float it across, knocked away by Frolov. Federley up high to Johnson, walks the line, wrister deflected off a stick and wide. That was Woolley up top, who was able to change that shot's direction. Lockney looks to turn his way back up ice, plenty of hat tricks back, and Port Huron beginning a change. Lockney back pass up to Millette, trying to slip by Pam Leon all the way around the cage. Millette made a move, lost it to Robinson, and now Hullaby gets the red line, sends a cross-corner dump in. Robinson and Simmons Fisher after it. Quick up to Bussell, dumps it in, takes a hit from O'Valley, and McCullum drops it off for Popoff. Back in the neutral zone, it's Adam Heinzel. Over 5.5 gone here in period one. Just one shot on net, and it belongs to Jamie Bussell. No score between the Prowlers and hat tricks. Millette takes a look. Makes a move on Newberg, gets the red line, sends it in off the backboards. Luke James in on the forecheck. Heinzel just not able to keep that one in the zone. So it'll be offsides against the Prowlers, and we'll take a break. Just over 6 minutes played here in period one. Still looking for our first goal in Danbury.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rear-view mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
The Eastern Michigan Small Business Network, providing resources and funding to help start or grow your business. Small business support in participating Region 6 counties. Take advantage of the network's free training and events for entrepreneurs and small business owners. The Eastern Michigan Small Business Network aims to boost your chances of success. Learn more about the network's Small Business Cohort Program. With rentable workspaces, business coaching, training, and funding opportunities, it's time to become a client of the Eastern Michigan Small Business Network.
Back here in Danbury, still searching for our first goal. 6 minutes gone in period one. Bit more of a feeling out process than I was expecting between two teams that have faced each other 3 times over the last 2 weeks. Not this face-off. Ruiz won it back, Bedard slipped it up, and Ruiz tipped it deep. Icing waved off. Simmons Fisher moved it around. Stiles up for Vinny DeCumbis. Tries to toe drag in. DeCumbis still with it. Couldn't push it on net though. And Bedard sends it around. DeCumbis back in on the forecheck. Tried to center. Didn't get much on it. And it's bounced out of the zone. Heinzel hustling after it in his own end. Prowlers getting some fresh forwards on the ice as Heinzel delays. Goes over to Simmons Fisher. And now on to Bussell on a breakaway. Backhand, he scores! The stretch feed from Simmons Fisher on to Jamie Bussell. He slipped it 5 on McCullum. Not sure if that went in immediately or if DC put it home. Either way, Prowlers break the ice tonight. Great stretch pass from Braden Simmons Fisher to find Bussell, who turned away from Zach Pamaleon and went in all alone. And it looks like it will be Bussell's goal. That was the indication that I've gotten. So his 9th of the year. And Bussell gets the monkey off the back with his first goal since January the 25th against the Motor City Rockers, snapping an 8-game goal drought. Johnson quick up to Bussell, trying to spring him again. Now Johnson gloves it back down and neutralized, but Millette the next one to touch it, so that's a hand pass. They are indeed giving it to Bussell. Heinzel and Simmons Fisher picking up the assists on the goal by Bussell. Simmons Fisher had 2 helpers last Saturday here in Danbury. He's up to 3 in 3 games as a Prowler now. Looks like Matt Graham excused from this face-off, so Federley will take it against Van Durken. And Van Durken wins it back clean. Gonzalez tipped in by Woolley. Lucianen back behind his own net. Softly to Johnson, and he gets it to Lockney. Tried for the home run pass, couldn't find Federley. Loose puck scooped up by Graham. Absorbs contact from Woolley. Federley chips it in as he was surrounded. Lockney in on the forecheck. Takes the puck, bounces it up to Johnson. Tried to touch it over for Thelstrom, who has to hustle after it. Lockney back pass, looking in front, and that was loose for a moment. Graham poked at it, but McCullum able to get the glove on top. As Lockney's pass out was partially blocked, so it didn't get to Graham cleanly, came right to McCullum. But the Prowlers head coach trying to poke at that puck. McCullum able to get the glove on top. Hat-tricks still without a shot here. 7.5 minutes gone in period one. Valtteri Nusiainen has been able to touch the puck a few times though, which is at least good for him. LaBelle up to Dylan Hullaby. This one tipped all the way down and icing called against Denbury. Lockhart won that race to the puck. And we'll get another face-off down in McCullum's end. This line, the one that scored, Bussell, DC, and Millette. DC was the one who opened the scoring last Saturday against Danbury, the only goal of the first period in that game. Bedard spins, bounces it around to LaBelle. Up to Robinson, and Lockhart chases after it. D to Brian Parsons, moves up, his pass off a stick. Robinson tried to go the other way, but Parsons and Bussell took the puck from him. Bussell to the red line, slips it through for Millette, bouncing puck, Millette on the backhand, and he couldn't get that one to go as he went tumbling to the ice. Puck sent all the way back down, and no icing. Nusiainen plays it for Lockhart. That was a tough play for Reggie Millette. The puck was on edge, rolling just a little bit, and then he lost his balance. It's still 1-0 Port Huron, but the Prowlers seem to have found something. The Hat-Tricks will have to correct as far as those stretch plays go. Marty slips it on for DeCumbus. Cycles it deep. Marty and Ruiz cancel out. Ruiz slips it up to Vasiliev. Try to go up the boards, right into DeCumbus though. Marty after it with Mavalli. Took a hard hit as he got it back deep. Ruiz up to Vasiliev, and he exits the hat-trick zone. Over to Ratcliffe, has Ruiz going to the net. Sent it there, and Ruiz's tip stopped by Nusiainen, and the puck came right back through the crease. Marty collects it on the other side. That's officially the first shot of the game for the Hat-Tricks at the 9:12 mark of period one. Simmons Fisher on for Graham, makes a move, and he moves up ice. Federley takes a look, forced by Anderson, who shoves him off the puck. Pamaleon tosses it out, and it drops for Thelstrom. Now Federley right up the boards, couldn't find Graham. Little ping pong hockey here, as neither team can get towards the offensive zone. Now Graham tries to, and he does. Halfway through period one, Frolov tries to dance his way out, gives it over to Anderson, and he backhands it deep all the way around Nusiainen, over to Johnson. Now Federley dances around Hullaby. Bedard sends it back. Thelstrom for Johnson, waiting for his team to complete a change, got it to DC. LaBelle stepped up on him. Now the loose puck collected by Bussell. Here's Millette on the outside looking for DC, and he couldn't get that one to a shooting position. Prowlers on the regroup. It's Lockhart. Head up to Bussell. He tips it in, heads after it along with Bedard. Bussell wins that battle. Bounces it to Millette, back to Bussell. Millette again, shadowed by Newberg. Millette across the blue line. Turns, gives it over to Parsons. He sends it back around. DC has to deal with Bedard, who just sent it right up the wall. Millette not able to keep that one in the zone. So delayed offsides against the Prowlers, and they'll get some fresh bodies on the ice. Lots of grinding and cycling so far for Port Huron in this one, with a 1-0 lead. As the hat-tricks try and send Ruiz in, a pass was off his stick. Stiles around to Marty, and Movalli stepped up on Dylan Marty. Shots just 3-1 Port Huron. They stretch it through for Ratcliffe, but that one bounced away from him. Vasiliev swung and missed at the puck as Nusiainen came out to knock it away from Ratcliffe. Stiles had some trouble with it. Parsons to DeCumbus. Not able to chip it out. Lockhart finds some space. And he'll skate back, waiting for his team to get some more fresh bodies out. Pass to Federley, partially cut off. Federley regains control. It's batted back to Frolov. Now Van Durken working his way in. Van Durken with a pass across. That was in the air, and it was knocked over to the corner. Frolov sends it down to the near corner. Van Durken let it go up top for Pamaleon. Back down to Van Durken. Trying to make a pass across. Graham blocked that away. And the loose puck grabbed by Popoff back in his own end. Pamaleon, long feed up to Frolov. Johnson got in the way of that. Woolley gloved it down. Here's Frolov to Woolley. Makes a move, takes the shot, kick save by Nusiainen. Bounced around. Delstrom starts up ice, flying up the left wing, and he dumps it in. Didn't get too deep though. Gonzalez rims it all the way around to Woolley. Woolley slipped it up to Frolov, looking for the stretch to Gonzalez, and that one just off his stick. A few times the hat-tricks looking for that play at the Prowler blue line, and they just couldn't connect the pass. DC had his pass come back to him. He's surrounded, and Robinson gives it off for Pamaleon, who tries to start up ice, and now he stops up. Gonzalez, slap pass, gets to Robinson at the Prowler blue line, working on Simmons. Fisher, inside out move, puck ends up in the corner. Simmons Fisher drops Robinson there, and Heinzel grabs the biscuit, gives it to DC, and he sends Marty on his way. A rookie in his first pro game. Marty just floated it across. His team was in the midst of a change, and it's sent back out. Lockhart towards Stiles. Couldn't get a touch on it. Marty has it now, and he backhands it deep. LaBelle off for Anderson. Tosses it out of the zone. Glove down by Parsons. Ratcliffe was the next to touch it, but they will call the hand pass. So we will get a face-off and a timeout. Still no score here in Danbury. Prowlers with a 1-0 lead in Danbury.
Welcome to McDonald's. How may I help you?
Can I please get a big...
What I need from you is a chicken Big Mac.
A chicken Big Mac? That's not a Big Mac.
Actually, it is.
It's not...
Not a Big Mac.
Chicken Big Mac?
Chicken bag, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, and pickles on a sesame seed bun. Enjoy.
The chicken Big Mac.
It's not a Big Mac.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
Back here in Danbury, Prowlers with a 1-0 lead on the strength of a Jamie Bussell goal. Shots just 3-2 in favor of Port Huron. Plenty of dumping, plenty of regrouping for both sides here. And on this face-off, some more neutral ice play. Bedard up to Ratcliffe. Tries to touch it in. Heinzel off the backboards to Simmons Fisher. Gave it right back. Heinzel watched by Ratcliffe. And Heinzel looking to Federley. Rink wide feed finds Simmons Fisher. Now to Lockney. Takes the shot off the bar. Simmons Fisher recollects behind the net. Turns it out in front. That hit Bedard's skate. Ended up in the corner. Now Bedard tries a stretch pass that's touched in by Ruiz. Oh, Lucas Lockney got a chance to load it up from the slot. And he nearly went bar down. Just off the crossbar and out. Heinzel bounces it up towards DC. Tips it in. Took a hit from Popoff as he did. Mo Valley sends it right back out. Johnson fresh off the bench. Able to block it. His pass off a skate. And it drops for Frolov. Frolov centered. Puck loose. Couple of hat tricks there. Van Durkin trying to control. Thelstrom able to keep him from getting a shot off. Now Frolov all alone in front, and a save by Nusiainen to rob Vadim Frolov with some chaos in the Prowlers' end. We'll take another timeout, our last one of the period, 4:22 left to go in the frame.
At Hungry Howie's, we have a flavor philosophy. It's that you deserve to mix and match the most delicious flavor you've ever had with even more of the most delicious flavor you've ever had. But how can you mix and match the most delicious flavor twice at the same time? Well, we're not in the business of logic. We're in the business of blowing your flavor-loving mind with flavor upon flavor. Philosophize on that. Get any 2 items on the mix and match menu, including the 2-topping flatbread pizza for $6.99 each.
Hungry?
Howie's!
Back here in Danbury, under 5 to go in the Munger Physical Therapy first period. Prowlers with the 1-0 lead. Will Wiggleman here with you at Danbury Ice Arena. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Bit of a later start, 7:30 rather than the usual 7 p.m. Both teams seem to be a little bit slow getting going. Prowlers have had some good cycles down in the offensive end, but a lot of neutral zone play throughout this opening frame, and you see Parsons and Frolov, who do not need to get reacquainted. They know each other well. Battling over on the half wall, and looks like Bussell has been asked to lead the faceoff because of it. Millette against Van Durkin for this draw. Millette wins it back. Lockhart shoulders Woolley away and slips it up to DC. Penalty coming up now as Popoff dropped DC, and now a crowd gathering right on top of Stefan DC, who's slow to his skates. Everybody trying to get in on Jordan Popoff, I think. And now a Prowler and a hat trick went down right in front of the Port Huron bench. Can't tell from here who it is, but DC is going to receive some medical attention. It's Millette on top of, I believe, Popoff. Oh no, not Popoff. It's Millette who is on top of Frolov. And now Parsons gives Popoff one last shove. So we'll see how this all shakes out. Frolov is headed off the ice. And now Popoff moves away from the Prowler bench after one last shove from Parsons. There was an original penalty coming up. I believe it was to the Prowlers, as the whistle blew as soon as DC touched the puck. But Popoff came in and finished his check, and Stefan DC still down on the ice, getting medical attention from Hat-Trick's head trainer Adrian Dembeck. Prowlers already shorthanded, of course, with a couple of injuries, a couple of players on the IR, and DC, who came off the IR last weekend, still down on the ice. Brian Parsons has been escorted to the penalty box. I believe Reggie Millette also was sent to the locker room along with Vadim Frolov. Jordan Popoff is back at his own bench. We'll let you know as soon as the penalties start to come down here. As DC being helped to his skates by Lockhart and Bussell. I can't tell which leg he's favoring. As he is in some pain heading down the Prowlers tunnel. Stefan DC heading over to the locker room. Two minutes are up on the board on the Prowlers side. Brian Parsons and Vadim Frolov right now have been listed at 2 minutes for roughing apiece. I'm not sure what, oh, it looks like Reggie Millette also getting 2 for roughing. So, Brian Parsons picks up the extra penalty, so the Hat Tricks will go to their first power play of the game. Actually, they've changed Frolov and Millette to fighting, so that's why Frolov and Millette are off the ice. They each get 5 for fighting. They'll come back for period 2, and Brian Parsons slashing is now the call. So the Hat Tricks' second-ranked power play in the FPHL, and even 25% gets to go to work to try and tie up this game. They scored twice in the third period early on the power play to get within a goal. Last Saturday night against the Prowlers, after Port Huron had the 4-1 lead. Dylan Hullaby scored one of those goals. He has it now, harassed by Johnson, Ruiz, and Johnson in there. Heinzel there as well, and it's touched along to LaBelle. Settles things down, goes over to Ratcliffe, back to LaBelle. Watched by Federley, goes down to Anderson, spinning on Johnson. Federley comes in to help out. LaBelle across, Ruiz takes a look, and he shot it and couldn't find the target, I don't believe. Nuciana may have gotten a piece of it, but puck pops up out of play. Minute 22 left on the penalty to Brian Parsons, and now, again, it is official now. Parsons 2 for slashing, and then Frolov and Millette get the matching fighting majors. Face-off will be over to Nucianen's right after the shot by Johnny Ruiz. Be Graham and Anderson on the draw. Graham wins it to the boards, and Ratcliffe had some trouble with it, so the Hat Tricks have to regroup. Ratcliffe watched by Bussell. Starts his way up ice, gets the red line, and fires it all the way around along the glass. Lockhart able to take control, and he sends it off the stanchion and all the way down ice. 50 seconds left for Brian Parsons to sit in the penalty box as the Hat Tricks switch up the unit. It's Gonzalez working his way up over to Van Durken. Sidestep most of a check from Heinzel, but not all of it. As Van Durken went down, Johnson able to chip it by Van Durken and out of the zone. Woolley for Gonzalez. Watched by Dylan Marty, getting some PK time in his pro debut. Johnson on his backhand, couldn't get it out. Gonzalez to Robinson, down low. And a good stick by Heinzel to keep that pass from getting through to Pamela on. Johnson clears. Final seconds ticking off the power play to Parsons. Robinson slips it through. Pamela on, try to pass across. That was blocked. Back to 5-on-5. It's moved out in Marty's direction. Gonzalez hustling after it. Parsons in on him. And Anderson up ice. 4 Prowlers back. creating a wall at the blue line. Anderson lost it in the corner. Stiles tried to tap it up to James, but that one sent on net. And Valtteri Nusiainen gets it with the glove. He'll hang on for a whistle and a face-off. Stick around for Moses Rose's smoke break. First intermission report will go around the Empire. All the highlights from last weekend's games. Also take a look at some storylines from around the league. So keep it here on the PHP Network once the buzzer goes from period 1. Lots of interesting storylines to go over in this first intermission. Off this face-off, Lockhart starts to turn his way up ice. Gets the red line, sends it around, and McCullum tried to give it off to LaBelle. James got in between. The hat trick's able to recover. Anderson floats it out. Parsons right back up to James. At the red line, he sends it in, absorbs a hit from Ratcliffe. Marty first on it in the offensive end. Tried to spin away from Anderson. Now Ratcliffe. A lofting feed towards Josh Newberg. That was out of his reach. Chopped around to the near side as Nusiainen came out to play it. And now it's sent back out by Parsons. That puck on edge will have the legs for icing. 64 seconds left to go in period number 1. They tried to get Josh Newberg, who was behind everybody at the Prowler blue line. But he just couldn't reel in that pass a little bit too high for him to glove down. And he and Nusiainen came together as Nusiainen came out to play it away. Now Graham and Newberg will be in on this face-off. Over to Nusiainen's left. Comes to the wall. Prowlers try and bounce it out. They do. Robinson brings it right back in. Robinson try to pass across, and Newberg tipped it right over top of the cage. Hullaby looking down to Robinson. Newberg was upended by Graham. To a side scrum. Dug out by Thelstrom. And now Thelstrom works up. Tosses it in Lockney's direction. Icing waved off, so LaBelle has to play in the final 30. Johnson chases it back to his own end. He'll rev the engines, go over to Thelstrom. Thelstrom on goal, saved by McCullum. Left the rebound for LaBelle. Woolley off the glass and out of the zone. Johnson with 10. Tried to send it back in, blocked by Woolley. Johnson this time gets it deep, all the way around. Ooh, that one did not get deep. Prowlers offside, I believe, at the line. 3.7 seconds to go in period 1. In all likelihood, Prowlers heading to the break with a 1-0 lead unless something crazy happens here. Bussell won it across. Simmons Fisher will just soft touch it into the hat trick's end, and that will do it for the first 20 minutes of play. And it's the Prowlers with a 1-0 lead on the Danbury Hat Tricks. The modest shot on goal totals, 5 apiece, as both teams with lots of neutral zone play, lots of regroups, a little bit of ping pong hockey in there as well. Unable to get too much towards the net, but the Prowlers the only one to get one in the back of the net. And they have the 1-0 lead. Coming up once again on the Moses Rose's Smoke Break first intermission report. We'll go around the Empire, all of the news and highlights from around the Empire division from last weekend's games. Also take a look at the storylines from around the league from this week. A sizable suspension, a couple of big trades, and a Continental Division team trying to load up to get back into the playoff race. That's all coming up in the Moses Rosa Smoke Break first intermission report. We'll also take a look at the out-of-town scores as well, so keep it here on the PHP Network. Well, Prowlers are celebrating 10 seasons in Port Huron, and now is your chance to pick up limited edition 10th anniversary gear at the Prowlers team store. Located on the west end of McMorran Arena at every home game or online anytime at prowlersmerch.com. You can scan the QR code on your screen now to visit the online shop. Look your POHO best with gear from the Prowlers team store. 1-0 Port Huron through 20 minutes here in Danbury. And we'll take a break here on the PHP Network.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Grab your friends and head to Bella Bola, a local pizza spot located in the heart of downtown Port Huron. Our menu is full of timeless favorites made fresh in our on-site pizza oven. Available for pickup or delivery. Just don't fight over the last slice.
They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should have just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
At phprowlers.com.
Gleb Van Durkin will get the opportunity in the bottom of the 7th round. Try and end things. Van Durkin gets in, moves in, and he scores. And the hat tricks come all the way back to stun the Prowlers in a 7-round shootout.
McClendon trying to end it right here. Gaeta trying to extend this shootout. Gaeta way to the left-hand side. Comes in, drags it all the way through the front, and a save by McClendon. And the Hat Tricks are going to win the shootout here in Watertown.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Back here in Danbury, the Prowlers with a 1-0 lead through 20 minutes of play. Will Wiggleman here with you on the PHP Network. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. And before we continue talking about this game, let's take a look around the FPHL. A busy week for the FPHL storylines. And we start with the Monroe Moccasins, who were busy in the trade markets. They added Houston Wilson and Yanni Liarakos via trade as they get Wilson from HC Venom to complete the Trevor Finch trade. He began the season with the Pensacola Ice Flyers, was put on team suspension this week, and is now in the FPHL. His previous FPHL experience with the Delaware Thunder and Elmira River Sharks. Liarakos was acquired today from the Mississippi Seawolves in a trade that made headlines. Of course, last season mired in controversy after he had 32 goals and 72 points in 30 games for Mississippi, but he was placed on indefinite suspension for detrimental conduct. And I guess indefinite means until today, because the Seawolves able to trade him over to Monroe, and the Moccasins loading up. They are 11 points out of the final playoff spot in the Continental Division, but they have loaded up. Look at the trade they made last week for Kevin Sabad and Caden Henry, and now they pick up Houston Wilson and Yanni Liarakos. Justin Barr in another one that made headlines. He is suspended for the rest of the season. He got a 14-game suspension. Seawolves have 13 games remaining. They're already eliminated from playoff contention. He shoved a linesman during an incident on Saturday, and no matter how you feel about how the incident was handled by the referees, good, bad, or indifferent, at the end of the day, you're not allowed to shove the linesman. You're not allowed to shove the referees. So Barr getting a significant suspension for that. And again, another move mired in controversy throughout the week But again, at the end of the day, you cannot shove the men in stripes. They have that right to not be involved in that kind of contact in the game. Well, some more trades going on this week. Bohdan Zinchenko and Kim Mietnin have escaped from Danville as Zinchenko traded to Athens, Mietnin to Baton Rouge, both for future considerations, as both of them adding some great depth options ahead of their playoff push. Zinchenko and Mietnin playing top minutes for the Dashers, but they can certainly settle into some lesser roles on better teams like the Zydeco and the Rock Lobsters and be very effective. We saw Bohdan Zinchenko be very effective in a third-line role here in Danbury before he went to the Dashers. So some good moves for the Continental Division contenders this week. We take a look at our out-of-town score, see how everybody's doing. And we start with the Dashers, who are trailing the Binghamton Black Bears 3-0 in the second period. Black Bears out shooting the Dashers 39-6 right now. Austin Thompson, Josh Fletcher, and CJ Stubbs have the goals for Binghamton. Thunderbirds and Wolves still scoreless late in period one up in Watertown. Anton Borodkin making the start for the Wolves. He has 17 saves right now. Mario Cavalieri for Carolina has stopped 6 Wolves shots. They are through 20 minutes at Hitachi Energy Center in Wytheville, Virginia. Bobcats with a 1-0 lead on the Venom. Daniel Martin with the only goal there. Moving along, the Moccasins, of course, with the new look Moccasins taking on the Athens Rock Lobsters tonight in Athens. And Houston Wilson scored 40 seconds into his Moccasins debut. It's now 2-0 for Monroe as Blake Anderson picked up the other goal for the visitors. Kevin Zabad and Caden Henry, who we mentioned a few moments ago, as guys that the Moccasins have picked up as they try and load up to get back into the playoff picture in the Continental Division. They each picked up an assist in that opening period. And it is a 2-0 lead again as they continue to play in period number 2 in Athens. Motor City Rockers with a 1-0 lead on Columbus through one period of play. Back home in Michigan, Nick McGill-Diaz has the only goal there. And Motor City trying to keep off the Venom, trying to hold off the Venom. We're trying to push for that final playoff spot, occupied right now by the Rockers. Meanwhile, the Dragons right in the thick of it in the Continental Division, trying to pick up some big road points. Take a look at the game stats so far from this one. Just 5 shots apiece for these two teams in the opening 20 minutes. And the Prowlers have had some slow starts this season with plenty of first periods that have had 5 shots on net, but that was a surprisingly slow start offensively for both sides. There was seemed like a bit of a feeling out process. Maybe the more these teams have played over these last couple of weeks, the defensive aspects have been better, but lots of cycling, a little bit of ping pong hockey going both ways as there were couple minute stretches that both teams struggled to get into the offensive zone. Lots of neutral zone play, lots of regroups, but 1 goal on the board, and it belongs to the Port Huron Prowlers. And it came off the stick of Jamie Bussell. As we are just moments away from puck drop in period number 2, we take a look at our PHP Network trivia question. Well, Dylan Marty, of course, making his pro debut tonight out of Lawrence University. We want to know what other current Prowler played at Lawrence University, so put your guesses in the comment section. We'll give you the correct answer coming up at the start of period number 3. We have referees and linesmen on the ice still waiting for both teams to hit the ice. Reggie Millette and Vadim Frolov will have to head directly to the penalty boxes. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200 for those two, as they have to serve the final few seconds of their fighting majors. Hat tricks have hit the ice, still awaiting the Prowlers. Connor McCullum, you saw him lead his hat tricks out onto the ice. 4 saves for McCullum on 5 Prowler shots. Here come Valtteri Nusiainen and the Prowlers. Nusiainen with stops on all 5 hat trick shots in that opening period. Well, this was the same score last Saturday through 20 minutes of play, although it was a much more dominant first period for the Prowlers last Saturday. And we'll see if they can keep up the momentum here and pull away a little bit against the hat-tricks. But of course, as we saw, this one will not be over until the final buzzer. And it's about putting together a 60-minute effort for the Prowlers. If the game lasted 40 minutes last Saturday, they would have come away with an easy 4-1 win, but instead, hat-tricks ended up tying the score of the big third period and took the win 6-5 in a shootout. Prowlers start with Matt Graham's line in this second period. Hat-tricks countering with Gleb Van Durken's line as the middle 20 minutes are up on the clock here at Danbury Ice Arena. And we are just about set for the Hungry Howies second period. Prowlers get the first touch, and it's Lucas Lockney sending a long-range shot on McCullum, and he reaches up and grabs 8 seconds into period 2. Lucas Lockney on a 3-game point streak coming into this one. 10 goals, 11 assists, 21 points in 16 games this season. Of course, had a bit of a stretch where he was on the inactive list, playing with Quad City in the SPHL. But chose to come back here to Port Huron for the playoff run. Gonzalez sends it off the glass out of the zone. Johnson stops it at the red line. Thelstrom moved it up. Pamaleon bounced it right back. Thelstrom with the hat tricks in the midst of a change right on top of the puck. Gets it over to Johnson. Thelstrom went down to a knee as he brought in that pass. And it's Johnson again. Long range feed on the stick of Federley. He bats it in and heads off for a change. Pamaleon rims it up the wall. All the way down ice it goes. Icing waved off. And first on it there was Hullaby. Tried to chop it out in front, couldn't do it. Nusiainen able to move it to Decumbis. Sends a long pass all the way up, but couldn't connect with Bussell, so that will be an icing against Port Huron. Millette and Frolov out of their respective sin bins. Millette trying to go right onto the ice, but Prowlers will not be able to make a change. Looks like some words being exchanged between Millette and a couple of hat tricks, including Dylan Hullaby. There are 6 Prowlers on the ice right now. And now Dylan Marty heading off. They're going to pull Marty back on. And they'll say Millette cannot come out of the box right onto the ice, so Marty has to go back out there. A little bit of gamesmanship from the Prowlers, trying to sneak that one through. Couldn't do it. And we get a face-off between Decumbis and Newberg. Lockhart rims this one around. Marty got it out. Here comes Bussell flying up against Bedard. Takes a look towards the net, floated it there, and it's bounced back to the corner. Bussell sent it up towards the point. Lockhart couldn't bring it in. Nusiainen all the way out to play it away. There were 2 hat tricks charging towards that puck. Millette takes in this pass. Stops up. Turns the corner, and he fanned on the pass. Prowlers have to regroup. Parsons gets the red line, claps it all the way around, took a funny hop right on McCullum. And he was able to stay in his crease and make sure that didn't turn into a Prowler chance. as it did twice last Saturday, once on that end and once down on the end to our left. LaBelle chases after this loose puck. Woolley gets the red line, sends it in all the way around. Heinzel and Ratcliffe get there together. They tie up. Simmons Fisher able to pull it out of the pile, plays it towards the boards. Valley pinches to keep it deep. Millette bounces it around to Simmons Fisher. Back over towards Millette. Ruiz steps in between, but he's stood up by Heinzel. Now Simmons Fisher tripped up. Or lost an edge. Down low. Anderson stopped by Nusiainen. And the puck chopped at. They blow it dead as both Ratcliffe and Simmons Fisher hang to the penalty box. Oh, Simmons Fisher blew a tire. Thought he might have been tripped up. I must be wrong. And then Corey Anderson one-on-one with Nusiainen. Valtteri Nusiainen with a huge save. Simmons Fisher and Ratcliffe were battling after that right in front. And those two are going to get matching penalties. And I believe Jacob Ratcliffe did get away with one there, but Valtteri Nusiainen with the glove, able to make a huge save. We will get some 4-on-4 here, cross-checking to both Simmons Fisher and Ratcliffe. 17:27 left to go in period 2. Van Durken, Frolov, Pamelayan, and Gonzalez out there for Danbury. Marty, Federley, Johnson, and Thelstrom for Port Huron. Van Durken won it back. Frolov couldn't get the shot away. He was lined up right behind Van Durken for that quick shot, but just couldn't pull the trigger. Thelstrom has 2 hat tricks on him, but he's able to work it up to Johnson. All by himself. 2 hat tricks back. Johnson throws on the brakes in the corner. Cycles it down towards Federley. Gonzalez tied up with Austin Federley. Johnson right back on the puck. But he was surrounded. Pamelayan took it. Gonzalez slipped it through towards Van Durken. Had to spin away from the oncoming Johnson, and Thelstrom takes over. Thelstrom chased by Van Durken. Gets the red line, gets the hat trick blue line as he chipped it in. And took a hip check from Gonzalez. Prowlers in the midst of a change. Van Durken off for Gonzalez. Left wing Frolov. Couldn't dangle around Lockhart. And now Millette takes a look, sees his teammates behind him, and he'll circle back. Lockhart's pass off a skate, so this won't be icing. McCullum all the way back for it to leave it for Bedard. 41 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Woolley steps around Bussell, makes a pass across to LaBelle. Has Woolley going to the net, and his shot gloved and held by Valtteri Nusiainen. 29 seconds left in the 4-on-4. That was the first shot on net of this 4-on-4. Hat-tricks up 2-1 on shots in this second period. Graham and Ruiz take this face off. Ruiz won it back clean. LaBelle walks, sent it through, blocked by Graham. Bedard couldn't make a move out to the net. Heinzel able to pull that puck out of the pile. Bounce it up to Johnson. Couldn't get past Woolley though. Nusiainen steers the puck to the corner, right to Ruiz. Out for LaBelle, one-timer, he scores! Prowlers can't get it out, and Josh LaBelle makes them pay. We're tied up at 1. Ruiz took the puck off the shot on net, and he got it to LaBelle as the Prowlers were all headed up ice. And LaBelle, with the one-timer, gets his 8th goal of the season. Going to the glove side on Valtteri Nusiainen. 7 seconds left in the 4-on-4. And we'll try the drop again as say it was a false drop on Bussell and Newberg. So the hat tricks early in period 2, able to tie things right back up. They do it in the 4-on-4 as LaBelle, a goal scorer, slips it on for Robinson. Back to 5-on-5. Robinson up the wall, LaBelle towards the cage. Goes off the boards. And Bedard's shot popped up in the air, landed on the near half wall. Bussell couldn't dance through Robinson. Good stick by Lockhart, gets it out of the zone, and LaBelle hustles back for it. Watched by DeCumbus, LaBelle spins away. Up the boards, Hullaby backhands it out all the way down. Lockhart beats Robinson to it. Turns the corner, fires a pass up to Millette. Millette over to DeCumbus, 2-on-1. DeCumbus, a rising shot, and the save made by McCullum as he shoulders it out of play. Just over 5 minutes gone in period 2. Josh LaBelle has tied things up, but Vinny DeCumbus that close to getting the Prowlers back in front. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
Welcome to McDonald's. How may I help you?
Can I please get a big...
What I need from you is a chicken Big Mac.
A chicken Big Mac? That's not a Big Mac.
Actually, it is.
It's not
a Big Mac.
Chicken Big Mac?
Chicken bag, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, and pickles on a sesame seed bun. Enjoy.
The chicken Big Mac.
It's not a Big Mac.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Live where you work. Work where you play. Is your work commute making you miserable? Quit the commute. Explore hot jobs in St. Clair County paying $40,000 to $100,000 or more. Visit stclairhotjobs.com. Spend more time doing what you love. If you're not currently living in St. Clair County, or you know friends or family that moved away but are ready to come back, then visit stclairhotjobs.com to find a new job and make the move.
Back here in Danbury, just over 5 minutes gone in period 2. Hat tricks have brought this one back to even. It's Josh LaBelle from Johnny Ruiz. Offensive zone face-off will be tried again between Kenny Stiles and Jacob Ratcliffe this time, as Ruiz was asked to leave the draw. And now Ratcliffe asked to leave. Ruiz was the original center, so now he'll have to leave again. And finally, we get Connor Woolley to take the draw against Stiles. Off the draw, Marty tried to slip it through. Couldn't get it all the way on net. Simmons Fisher kept it alive. Stiles on goal. That one off a skate and out of play. Right off the face-off, Dylan Marty fighting to get that puck through. Took a whack at it, but couldn't get it all the way through to McCullum. And a couple more false drops here to Connor McCullum's right. Ruiz ejected from the face-off again, and Woolley will take it once again against Kenny Stiles. Tied up, Marty got the shot away this time, and it went off the side of the cage. Ratcliffe taken in by Marty. 2-on-2 scrum, popped out, but just too far in front of Luke James. The hat tricks work out of the zone. Simmons Fisher up to James, to Marty on the outside. His shot stopped by McCullum, and the rebound off to the corner. Heinzel pinches in, tried to center, that went off a skate. Stiles at the blue line, set it around. He was covering for Heinzel at the blue line. Federley gloves it down and starts back up. Federley a shot gloved and held by Connor McCullum. 13:50 left to go in period 2. Prowlers with a couple of good opportunities there. Connor McCullum, big save on Dylan Marty. Graham and Van Durken on this draw as the Prowlers send Matt Graham's line out. Off the face-off, Lockney turns to the corner. Gets around one man. Pamaleon took the puck, and Anderson able to chip it out. Johnson chased by Frolov, rims it around. Federley able to touch it out of the zone. Gonzalez with some pressure from Graham. He's taken down to the ice. Lockney couldn't make a play on it. Frolov chips it past Johnson. Frolov grabs it on the other side. Back for Van Durken. He's forced to the wall. Gonzalez fakes the drive. Walks down the board, sent it out in front. Couldn't bank it off anybody into the net. It does come to Nusiainen now, and he'll clamp the glove on top. Prowlers got back in numbers. They keep Vadim Frolov from getting a good opportunity. An offensive zone faceoff coming now for the Hat-Tricks as Kyle Gonzalez tried a couple of chances to get that puck to the net. That was one game-winning goal this season that came against Port Huron at McMorran Place a couple of weeks ago. Puck comes to the wall. Lockhart rims it back this side. Millette waiting for it. Sent it out of the zone, but right on the stick of Robinson. Sent back in. Parsons. Up to Millette. Taken in by Hullaby. Millette back down to Parsons, and now Lockhart. On for Bussell. Couldn't turn it to Millette. And Newberg backhands it deep. Robinson comes out of the corner. Taken in by Parsons as he tried to cycle it down to Ruiz. Got it there. Ruiz along the goal line. His pass out. Cut off by Millette. He sends DeCumbus on his way. Chipped in deep. DeCumbus after it, but Ruiz beats everyone to it. And now Johnny Ruiz trying to go end to end. Long range shot punched out by Nusiainen. Prowlers look to go on the counter. Stiles had his stick lifted. But here's Simmons Fisher getting in. His shot stopped by McCullum, and he'll hang on. 12:07 left to go here in period 2. Looks like Luke James is a regular participant on this line with Stiles and Marty. Maybe Vinny DeCumbus taking Stefan Deasy's spot with Bussell and Millette. Oh, all the players look like they thought we were going to take a timeout. We are not. Face-off is coming to Connor McCullum's left. And it will be that line of Stiles, James, and Marty in for the draw. And luckily for the Prowlers, they do have the extra forward dressed tonight in Luke James. And they do have enough to dress an extra forward. And that's coming in handy right now with Stefan Deasy not on the bench. Heinzel over to Marty, kicked off his skate. Van Durken able to get it deep. Simmons Fisher on to Marty. Gives it over to Heinzel. And now James dumps it in. Frolov first on it there. Around for Mavalli. Lead pass touched in by Anderson, but from his own side of center, so that will be an icing against the Danbury Hat-Tricks, and the physicality ramping up on both ends of the rink. Hat-Tricks finishing their checks. The Prowlers will be the ones with the offensive zone face-off here, as it took only 8.5 minutes to get to 5 shots aside here in the second, after 5 shots aside in the entire first period. Shots 10-10 for the game so far. Anderson trying to toss it along for Frolov. Johnson moves back the other direction, but Frolov locked him up. Robinson trying to lift Johnson's stick. It comes all the way to Nusiainen, and he'll cover up and let the Prowlers reset. Alex Johnson was harassed by a couple of Hat-Tricks trying to control that puck. Port Huron will make a change here. They do send out the line of Bussell, DeCumbus, and Millette. Then he gets a chance in DC's spot. Faceoff comes to Parsons, rimmed all the way around to DeCumbis. Stops up, sends Bussell on his way, he rims it around. Comes back to Bussell, courtesy of Millette. Bussell up the half wall to the point, bounce back down to DeCumbis, looking for Bussell, just out of his reach, and Jamie Bussell would have had a great look at the net if the Prowlers could have connected that pass. Instead, it's Bussell playing an indirect pass towards Millette. That one chopped between Millette and Gonzalez, up out of play. So another face-off coming over on the far side, just outside of Hat-Trick's territory. 10:48 left to go in period number 2. Matt Graham's line right back out there against Johnny Ruiz. Ruiz wins it back. Gonzalez to Pamaleon. Indirect pass finds Woolley. Ratcliffe couldn't get through a couple of Prowlers. Gonzalez trying to chip it in. Muscled off by Heinzel. Simmons Fisher on the puck. Looking towards Federley. Woolley almost jumped in front. The puck is loose in Hat-Trick's territory. Pamaleon chased by Lockney. Spins away. Lead pass. Ends up on Woolley's tape. All by himself working on Simmons Fisher and doesn't get a shot on net. Simmons Fisher works to this side. On for Graham. And now across to Federley, who one times the dump all the way around. Came back out to center all the way to the Prowlers' end, past the midway point of this hockey game, tied up at 1 goal apiece. Graham touches it in. LaBelle moves it around to Hullaby, chip off the boards. Hat-Tricks look to work up with it. Van Durken couldn't bring it cleanly into the offensive end. Johnson spinning off of Van Durken. Now Frolov in there as well. He moves the puck up the boards, but Millette able to make a play, and here comes Marty, one-on-one against LaBelle. Marty spins, hands it off for Millette. Hand up for Parsons. That wasn't a clean exchange. Back the other way comes LaBelle, knocks down the pass. He shoots, saved by Nusiainen. Penalty coming up against the Prowlers. A slash is signaled, so the Hat-Tricks back to the man advantage for the second time in this game, tied up at 1 goal apiece.
See that? That's what 100% mozzarella looks like. What dough made daily looks like. What fresh ingredients and 8 irresistible flavored crusts on pizza cooked to perfection looks like. It's so much flavor, we don't even know if it's legal to have this much flavor. Now you can get that famous flavor for only $8.99. Wait, a large one-topping pizza for $8.99? That's a deal. It's a steal. No, it's a crime. Just $8.99 for a one-topping pizza full of our famous flavor. Now that's how we do a deal.
Hungry?
Howie's!
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rear-view mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
Back here in Danbury, Hat-Tricks to their second power play of the game as Brian Parsons is off for slashing. And that whole play started with a miscommunication between Parsons and Reggie Millette at the Hat-Tricks blue line. They turned it over, and the Hat-Tricks sent in Josh LaBelle on a partial breakaway. And Parsons takes the penalty, and Danbury with a chance to take its first lead of the night. Here is LaBelle to Pamaleon. Back to LaBelle. Hullaby's lined up right in front of Nusiainen. Ruiz a shot, he scores! Johnny Ruiz with a rip to the top corner. 10 seconds into the Hat-Tricks power play, and they've taken a 2-1 lead. They get it over to Ruiz in his spot in the left wing circle, and that rip over the glove hand of Valtteri Nusiainen is Ruiz's 17th goal of the year, 8th on the power play. That's a team high, 8 power play goals for the captain, Johnny Ruiz. And that didn't take long for the hat tricks to make the Prowlers pay. Port Huron finds itself behind in Danbury for the first time in a couple of weeks. As first time this season, LaBelle tried to pass across. That didn't work. Frolov sent that one down towards Robinson. Simmons Fisher locked up by Robinson. And now it's Heinzel. DeCumbis spun away from a check. Puck scooped up by Bussell. And now he'll go back, try and get some time and space. So LaBelle and Pamelayan picking up the assist on the goal by Ruiz. So LaBelle and Ruiz with a goal and an assist apiece tonight. Tipped in by Robinson, Simmons Fisher, first after it. Steps around Ratcliffe, direct pass, Lockney up for Graham. It's a pass to the middle, looking for Simmons Fisher. Valley able to cut it off. Graham floats it across to Federley. Enters the offensive zone, got around Mavali. Federley behind the net. Up to the point. D-to-D pass comes across to Lockhart. Floats it down to Lockney. Back to the net. Now he turns up top, save by McCullum through traffic. Parsons back on goal. That one went all the way through the crease. Federley again to Lockney. That one not on his tape. And the hat tricks take over. They try and send Ruiz in on a breakaway. That one knocked to the corner. And here's Lockhart starting back up. Gets around one hat trick, lost the puck. Woolley took a hit from Stiles, who was coming off the bench. Puck's underneath them, and now Stiles is on it. Stiles sends it deep. Gonzalez can chip it out. James cut it off. James and Newberg tied up. Now a two-a-side scrum. James trying to pull it through, but it's Bedard who digs it out of the pile. Lockhart steps up, or Parsons, pardon me, steps up to throw a hit on Hullaby. Marty, indirect pass finds James. Has Marty heading to the net. James down to Marty. Gonzalez right on him. Lost his stick, but play it with his glove over to Bedard. Legal hand pass in the defensive zone. James brings it back in. And he had it taken off his stick. Hullaby jumps it in from the red line. Hat tricks making a change with 6:23 left to go in period 2. DeCumbis turns the corner. Heads up ice, slipped it in. Pop off to LaBelle, bounces it right back out. DeCumbis tried to make a pass across. Instead got it deep for Bussell. Millette out to the point. Johnson takes a look. He shoots off the back wall. McCullum sprawling. And the puck back behind the net. Frolov over to Robinson. Working on Johnson. Robinson on the outside. Hit the post. And popped right out to the middle of the ice where Bussell collected. Millette to DeCumbis, shot blocked. Now Millette knocked down by LaBelle. A couple of Prowlers come to Millette's defense. And now we have a scrum in deep. 3 Prowlers, 2 hat tricks involved. Now 2-on-2. LaBelle and Bussell pairing off along with Millette and another hat trick. I believe it's Popoff. Linesmen and referees will get everybody separated. It was LaBelle who threw the hit. Indeed, it is Popoff. So 2 former River Dragons, LaBelle and Popoff, involved in this scrum. And Millette heading over to the penalty boxes. Josh LaBelle had some kind of tape on his chin, had it come off in that scrum, so he'll have to get some attention, I believe, from the training staff.
And the correction on the Denver Hat Tricks power play goal. Credit number 9, Josh LaBelle.
Well, both Bussell and Millette in the Prowlers penalty box. Jordan Popoff being escorted over to the hat tricks box. And Josh LaBelle will head that direction as well with the hat tricks training staff.
The John Reed School is here.
I'll let you know as soon as all the penalties come down exactly what they are. Johnny Ruiz, Austin Federley, the two number 19s and the two captains for their respective clubs over there to get the explanations. As the original hit was thrown on Millette, Prowlers took exception to it. And they went right after LaBelle. Both DeCumbis and Bussell went after LaBelle, and then Millette came back in to join the scrum, and DeCumbis ended up backing out at that point. Two aside in each penalty box. And it looks like 2 for roughing for all 4. LaBelle, Popoff, Millette, and Bussell. Seems to be how they're going to score it. Maybe we get some 3-on-3 hockey here, or are they just going to call them all coincidentals and keep it at 5-on-5?
Happy birthday, Ashley Joe, with love, much love from Connor.
Johnny Ruiz getting the explanation right now. Tonight's referees are Justin Crawford and Mike Siegler, the linesman Michael Imperio and Will Fennon. And it looks like we will stay at 5-a-side hockey. Matt Graham and Johnny Ruiz will take this face-off. Prowlers 1 short. Need Austin Federley to complete this line. Oh, there he is. Pardon me, we're not 1 short. And off this face-off, Graham wins it back to Johnson. So all 4 in the box will have to wait for the 3.5-minute mark and a whistle for their let out of the sin bins. Delstrom at the point, sends it down, comes all the way around. Gonzalez reverses back to Mavalli. Up for Woolley. Rink-wide feed, partially cut off by Federley. Didn't get all the way through to Ruiz, and now Johnson starts a counter. Johnson sends it all the way around. Got through Graham, and back to neutral ice where Alex Johnson will recover again. Lockney had the pass explode off his stick, and it's back for Nusiainen, who gives it to Johnson once again. Long lead pass off of James and/or Bedard. Bedard off the boards, right back out to center ice. Johnson with plenty of puck touches on this shift, gets it deep. He was looking to head off for a change, but he has to stay on, and he gives it to Stiles, and now Johnson will get to change. Stiles shot off a stick, and it flies up out of play. We'll take a timeout, 4:20 left in period 2. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
Explore the 140 miles of stunning shoreline along Lake Huron. That is Michigan's Thumb Coast. Discover charming coastal towns, serene beaches, and endless outdoor adventures. Stay at cozy hotels, paddle through pristine blue waters, and hit the fairways along breathtaking views. Plan your perfect getaway at bluewater.org.
Grab your friends and head to Bella Bola, a local pizza spot located in the heart of downtown Port Huron. Our menu is full of timeless favorites made fresh in our on-site pizza oven. Available for pickup or delivery. Just don't fight over the last slice.
.420 left to go in the Hungry Howie's second period here in Danbury. And the Prowlers trail the Hat Tricks 2-1. Will Riggleman with you on the PHP Network. Looks like Dylan Marty getting a shift here with Matt Graham and Lucas Lockney. This offensive zone draw between Graham and Van Durken. Marty able to push it back towards the net after the faceoff win by Van Durken, and McCullum covers up. Another face-off in the same spot. It's Marty and Pamaleon who are lined up together on that far side. This time Graham wins it back. Johnson to Simmons Fisher. Took a look, went across to Lockney, and a good stick by Ben Durkin to knock it out of the zone. Simmons Fisher on for Graham. Tried to slip it through for Marty. Marty has it now up top. Simmons Fisher floats it through, got all the way through traffic, but just slipped wide. Lockney over to Graham. Prowlers right back in. Graham floats it back across, but couldn't find a teammate. Johnson got up high to glove that down. Pushed back out of the zone this time, and Simmons Fisher tied up with Robinson. Here's Ben Durkin getting past Johnson. Ben Durkin on the backhand, and he rose it too tall. Federley looks to go the other way. Johnson on for Graham. Prowlers have numbers. Here's Graham for Lockney. He shoots, and he missed the net. Simmons Fisher went tumbling into McCullum. An arm is up in the air for a penalty, and now everything's breaking loose around Connor McCullum. Meanwhile, Lucas Lockney is down over in the far side corner. He's back to his skates. Everybody's out of the penalty boxes that was there. Simmons Fisher is being escorted back to his bench. Looks like this penalty is coming up against Danbury. Corey Anderson is the one being escorted to the box. So the Prowlers will go back to the man advantage here for the second time in this game. Looks like they'll get Anderson for the slash on Lockney as he was releasing that shot. The Prowlers came up with numbers, got a good opportunity, and that's why that shot by Lockney just went so wide. He got slashed by Corey Anderson. They'll actually call it a hook. So the Prowlers to their second power play of the game, trying to tie it up. And they have all their power play guys out of the box in Reggie Millette. Namely Reggie Millette, but also Jamie Bussell. Ratcliffe sends this one all the way down, looking for Ruiz, who was breaking shorthanded. Lucianen played it around the wall. Lockney seems to be all right. Played it back to Johnson. Millette had it go off his stick. Gonzalez up to Ruiz. Slips it through. Ratcliffe shorthanded. Had his pass go off a Prowler's skate, and Federley, 200 feet from where he needs to be, starts to fire his way up ice on the left wing. Now for Lockney. Millette at the point, works his way deep, around behind the net to Graham. Now Millette. He gets up top at the blue line, wrists it through off the back wall, and it bounces out to Federley. Prowler set right back up. Federley on the half wall to Millette. Johnson with Graham right in front. Out down to Lockney in the corner. Across looking for Federley. Gonzalez got his stick on it. Van Durkin looking to work short-handed. Ratcliffe just gets it deep, and the hat trick start a change. 50 seconds left on this power play for the Prowlers as Millette will leave it behind the net. As the rest of his team is coming off the bench to change up. Lockhart flies in on the left wing side. All the way around the cage. Lockhart continuing on for Bussell. Takes a look, goes across to Lockhart, fake the drive, down to Thelstrom, back out to Bussell. Lockhart one-timer, rose it too tall, and that one batted out by LaBelle. Should take care of the final 10 seconds of this power play for Port Huron. They got a good look for Brett Lockhart, just couldn't find the target, and Anderson out of the box. Here's Lockhart getting all the way into the offensive zone for Bussell. Now Heinzel one-timer off a stick, popped up in the air, lands behind the net, stays in play. Newberg and James came together. Bedard sends it out of the zone. Brian Parsons the first one on it. Heinzel couldn't handle that puck. Hullaby caused trouble. Heinzel off the boards, sends Marty on his way. Marty lost it. Heinzel backs him up into the offensive zone. Heinzel shot into the protective netting, out of play, over the glass. 44.8 seconds left to go here in period number 2. As the hat trick still with the 2-1 lead Well, be sure to stick around for the Moses Roses Smoke Break second intermission report here on the PHP Network. We'll chat about this game so far, the importance of it, and what's going on in it. We'll also take a look at the Prowlers' upcoming schedule. The out-of-town scores are coming your way as well, so keep it here on the PHP Network once the buzzer expires the period. Up this face-off, Bedard rims it around to Ratcliffe. Woolley stops up, but he didn't enter the offensive zone before he stopped up, so offsides are the hat tricks. And the linesman had a real good look at it right there next to Connor Woolley. Have to bring that puck all the way in before you stop up your Connor Woolley, and just didn't do that there. Tossed in, glove down by Johnson. Headman feed to Lockney. Hat tricks back in numbers. Lockney hands it off for Millette. Now Lockney again drives to the net, and a save by McCullum. Bedard moves it around this way. Thelstrom pinches in, able to keep it deep. 15 seconds to go in the period. Bedard up to Ratcliffe. Now Woolley. Johnson bounces it off the glass, back the other way. Bedard at the red line, tosses it in, and that will do it for period number 2 here in Danbury. The hat tricks get 2 in the middle frame to take a 2-1 lead into the break. Shots in that second period, just a little bit higher than the shots in the first period. 7 for the hat tricks, 6 for the Prowlers, for 2 period totals of 12-11 in favor of Danbury. And our last shot in that second period came with 7 minutes and 43 seconds to go, as there's a little bit of a disturbance over by the Prowler bench as they're heading off to the locker room. Referees getting right in between everybody. But once again, no shots on goal were recorded, according to our live stats here, in the final 7 minutes and 43 seconds. Both teams exit the ice, and we get set for the second intermission here at Danbury Ice Arena, with the Prowlers trailing by a goal. Secure your seats for the Prowlers' next home game. That's coming up on Friday, March the 7th. That is this upcoming Friday. Prowlers finally returning home after a couple weeks away. Puck drop at McMorran Place is scheduled for 7:05 p.m. Tickets are available online at phprowlers.com/tickets, by phone at 810-985-6166, or by scanning the QR code on your screen now. That's online at phprowlers.com/tickets, by phone at 810-985-6166, or scan that QR code on your screen now to be part of the Prowlers' 10th anniversary season. That game, of course, kicking off an exciting weekend at McMorran Place. That game Friday, then taking a shot at Breast Cancer Night is Saturday, and then Faith and Family Day on Sunday. So lots of great games coming up for the Prowlers, and be sure to take them all in at McMorran Place as they begin a month of March where, after tomorrow, they will not leave the state of Michigan again until April. So lots of opportunities to see your Prowlers down the stretch. And once again, visit phprowlers.com/tickets to get your tickets to get all the action. Prowlers trailing by a goal heading into the third tonight. And we will step aside and tell you all about it and go through those first 40 minutes, and we will do it next here on the PHP Network.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Grab your friends and head to Bella Bola, a local pizza spot located in the heart of downtown Port Huron. Our menu is full of timeless favorites made fresh in our on-site pizza oven. Available for pickup or delivery. Just don't fight over the last slice.
They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it! I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com. They're cleaning up the Chuckapucks here in Danbury. Hat tricks with a 2-1 lead on the Port Huron Prowlers through 40 minutes of play. Will Wiggleman with you on the PHP Network. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. The Prowlers going to need to make a third period comeback if they're to avoid going into full spiral mode here. They have lost 5 of their last 6 games. They fall tonight. They will go on their third 3-game losing skid this season, which is the longest losing streak they've had at any point this season. And they are dropping further and further out of the race for second and third place in the Empire Division, which are important spots in the Empire Division, with the 4th and 5th seeds on each side having to play a 1-game midweek play-in game to even earn a spot in the Commissioner's Cup playoffs, to earn a spot to face the top team in the Empire Division, which will be the Binghamton Black Bears, a team the Prowlers would certainly like to avoid, at least until the second round of the playoffs. So these are some big points here in Danbury, even bigger points next Friday against the Watertown Wolves, which is a team sitting in third place in the Empire Division, but that is looking a little bit too far ahead. They have amended the shot totals in this game. 13-13 are the shots, 8 shots apiece for both teams in that second period as the low shot totals continued. But last time these teams matched up last Saturday, those low shot totals for the Hat Tricks, they exploded in the third period, more than double their shot total, and scored 4 times in the third last Saturday. We'll see if they come out with some energy. Prowlers will have to come out with some energy as well, as the situation certainly a lot different from last Saturday. Maybe the Prowlers came out, rested on their laurels a little bit, and got a little complacent as the Hat Tricks started to make that comeback early on in the third. But this time it's the Prowlers who need to make a comeback if they are to tie up this game and get themselves at least a point out of this one. But certainly they need 2 or 3 points, 3 ideally, to keep themselves right in the thick of things in the Empire Division. Again, because otherwise they'll have to play a midweek game against will be likely the Motor City Rockers, although HC Venom involved as well. They'll have to play a midweek game before the Commissioner's Cup playoffs, immediately following Prowler's series with the Rockers to end the regular season in April. Right now, there's been a lot of defensive play from both sides, as stretch passes haven't gotten through all too often. You had 1 or 2 chances on either side of the stretch pass, but certainly the percentage is not too great for either side there. Shots have been blocked, shots have been deflected, passes tipped on both sides. So the defense has certainly ramped up for both teams in this one. Certainly may have expected that after a 6-5 shootout game the last time these two teams matched up. And both goaltenders certainly come to play as well. Valtteri Nusiainen robbed Corey Anderson most notably there in that second period, but he's made a few big saves, and both sides have hit a post down to our left. Lucas Lockney hit the crossbar in the first. Noah Robinson off the near side post over Valtteri Nusiainen's blocker side. That was in the second period. Now the Prowlers and the Hat Tricks here tied up, or not tied up, Hat Tricks with the lead 2-1. And there will be plenty of scoreboard watching for both of these teams throughout this game, as both of them hoping that the Watertown Wolves fall to the Carolina Thunderbirds in Watertown tonight. We will get you updated on those scores coming up later in the intermission report. Let's take a look at the stats for this game so far. But once again, they did update the shot total. So 13-13 are the shots. 0 for 2 for either side in the power play, or Hat Tricks, pardon me, are 1 for 2 in the power play department. Prowlers 0 for 2. And special teams so important. Hat Tricks have made good on 1 of their 2 power plays. Both teams with 15 penalty minutes in this game. And if it comes down to a power play goal being the difference, that'll certainly be a tough pill for the Prowlers to swallow with the way that their power play has performed as of late. They have tried different things here in this game. They moved Austin Federley down a little bit. He's no longer up top. He's working down along the flanks and in the bumper spot. They have Vinny DeCumbis working on that other power play unit as well. Of course, Stefan DC was not on the bench for that second period. I don't expect him to return to this game after he went off with an apparent injury after taking a hit from Jordan Popoff all the way back in the first. The Prowlers shorthanded going into this third period as far as players on the bench. And they have some work ahead of them, trailing 2-1, entering the final 20 minutes. We'll be right back with much more coming up on the PHP Network Intermission Report.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at @PHProwlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Grab your friends and head to Bella Bola, a local pizza spot located in the heart of downtown Port Huron. Our menu is full of timeless favorites made fresh in our on-site pizza oven. Available for pickup or delivery. Just don't fight over the last slice.
They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should have just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it! I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com. Back here in Danbury, Hat Tricks with a 2-1 lead on the Port Huron Prowlers as we get set, hopefully shortly, for period number 3. Will Wiggleman here with you on the PHP Network. Thanks so much for joining us tonight as the Prowlers and Hat Tricks battle for the 6th time this season out of 7, and the Hat Tricks have won 4 of the first 5. Before we continue on talking about this game, let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Prowlers. And it will end the 4-game road trip, tomorrow here in Danbury. 3 of those 4 games came against the Danbury Hat Tricks. As a 7 p.m. puck drop, Prowlers have only earned 1 point in this road trip so far. They're 0-1-1 and trying to pick up some victories before they head home for 3-3 next weekend. And next weekend begins a full month of March full of home games. Prowlers will not leave the state of Michigan once they return home from this weekend until April, when they visit the Carolina Thunderbirds on the second to last weekend of the regular season. And all kicks off with games against the Watertown Wolves and Athens Rock Lobsters. Wolves come into town on Friday. That is the one and only game between the Prowlers and the Wolves this season, which is a surprisingly low number for two teams that are in the same division like the Prowlers and the Wolves are. And right now they are battling for that 3rd spot in the Empire Division. And then the Prowlers will take on the Athens Rock Lobsters, wrap up their season series with Athens. Port Huron 0-1-1 against Athens this season as they take on the Rock Lobsters on taking a shot at Breast Cancer Night next Saturday. And then it will be Faith and Family Day on Sunday. That one a 3:05 p.m. start and the only Sunday home game for the Prowlers this season. So be sure to get your tickets for all those games and check out the schedule at phprowlers.com/tickets and see how many home games you can make it to. Help cheer on the Prowlers down the stretch as they head towards the Commissioner's Cup playoffs. Let's take a look around the FPHL, and we start with an unsurprising scoreline as the Binghamton Black Bears are dominating Dashers 9-0. Final seconds are ticking off of that one in Binghamton. As the Dashers' rotten season continues, they are shut out by the Black Bears. Dakota Bond had a goal and 3 assists. Tyson Kirkby with a hat trick and an assist. Black Bears were spreading it around with plenty of different players having multi-point nights. Nolan Egbert, 14 saves for the shutout. And the Black Bears have just wrapped that one up, 9-0. They defeat the Dashers. Carolina and Watertown tied up at 1 with 20 minutes left in regulation. Davide Gaeta has scored for the Wolves. John Batista, the goal for the Thunderbirds. And both of these teams playing here tonight in Danbury, rooting for a Wolves regulation loss, or a Wolves loss of any kind, but certainly a regulation loss would help out the Prowlers tremendously. They hope that the Thunderbirds can help them out. Thunderbirds are out shooting the Wolves right now, 36-15. And they still have 20 more minutes left to go. They are in the middle of the final 20 minutes in Wytheville, and the Bobcats have a 4-1 lead on HC Venom. Daniel Martin, Hunter Godmere, Hunter Hall, and Daniel Klenecki with the goals for the Bobcats. Dustin Jasso with the only one for the Venom so far. That one coming in period 3. The Rock Lobsters have come back to tie things up with the Monroe Moccasins. They're knotted up now at 3 goals apiece. Malik Johnson scored twice. Danil Glukariev with the other goal. Johnson had an assist on that one, so make it a 3-point night for Malik Johnson. Hugo Koch scored the most recent one for the Moccasins. They are tied up at 3 goals apiece in Athens, and they are playing right now in period number 3. Final minutes ticking off of period 3 in Athens. River Dragons have come all the way back from a 2-0 deficit, now up 4-2 on the Motor City Rockers in Fraser. After Nick McGill-Diaz and Tristan Wells put the Rockers up 2-0, it was Kyle Heitzner, Cody Wickline, Nolan Slahetka, and Connor Lind, the goals for the Dragons. And they will head into period 3 with a 2-goal advantage. And of course here, it is a 2-1 lead for the Danbury Hat-Tricks, just a few minutes away from the start of period number 3, an important period for Port Huron. We'll see if they can make a comeback here and find some points, find a victory, or else they will be losers of 6 of 7. Currently losers of 5 of their last 6 are the Prowlers. After a fantastic month of January, it's all come crashing down here in February. Prowlers trying not to spiral completely out of control before plenty of home games coming up in March. Prowlers are 12-8-0 at home, just 6-8-5 on the road, so certainly faring much better at McMorran Place than they are away from it. And McMorran Place is somewhere they will be a lot coming up. Again, in the month of March, they will not leave the state of Michigan. Just a couple of road games against the Motor City Rockers, but other than that, all home games for the Prowlers as we start to head down the stretch in the FPHL calendar. One last look at the game stats before we get you set for period number 3. Hat-Tricks with the 2-1 lead. Both teams with 13 shots on net. Danbury 1 for 2 on the power play. That is the difference right now. That one power play goal currently going down as the game winner if this score holds, and it belongs to the Hat Tricks captain, Johnny Ruiz. One of 2 hat tricks with a goal and an assist tonight, along with Josh LaBelle. Before we get into period number 3, let's take one last look at our PHP Network trivia question. It was about Dylan Marty, who's making his pro debut tonight after playing last couple of years at Lawrence University. We wanted to know who's the other current Prowler that played at Lawrence. Well, he's also making his season debut for the Prowlers tonight. It's Vinny DeCumbis, who played 4 years at Lawrence from 2018 to 2022, missing Dylan Marty, who played from 2023 to 25 after beginning his college career at Framingham State. Marty's had a couple of opportunities in this game, DeCumbis as well, but neither of them have found the score sheet. The only goal for the Prowlers so far, Jamie Busells from all the way back in the first period. They'll try and find the tying goal here in period 3. And they do have Busells' line out there to start. He's there along with Reggie Millette and Vinny DeCumbis. DeCumbis moved up to that line after the injury to Stefan DC. Busell will draw against Gleb Van Durken. Connor McCullum down the goal crease to our left. 12 saves on 13 Prowler shots. Valtteri Nusiainen in the goal crease to our right. 11 saves on 13 hat trick shots. Not too many shots, not too many goals, and we're set for period 3. Busell tosses this one in, gloved down by Kyle Gonzalez, and Van Durken able to launch it out. That one knocked down by the high stick of Busell. And with DeCumbis the next one to touch it, we'll get a whistle and a face-off. Again, DeCumbis taking DC's spot here on this line. Both from Switzerland, DC and DeCumbis, with different parts of Switzerland. DeCumbis, the French part of Switzerland, and DC more from the German part of Switzerland. Prowlers also had Davide Gaeta, who we mentioned briefly in that intermission report, from the Italian part of Switzerland. Very different cultures from what I've been told. The different parts of Switzerland, and DC and DeCumbis actually communicate primarily in English because that's the language that both of them know. Here's Ludwig Thelstrom from Sweden getting to the red line, and he dumps it in. McCullum sends it right back up the wall. Thelstrom back on net, off the back glass. Graham collects the rebound. Gonzalez couldn't move it out. Graham trying to muscle his way to the net. Instead now it's Lockney. To Parsons, one touches it down all the way around. Federley had it go through him, and it comes to Frolov. He launches it out. Hat tricks beginning a change, just over a minute gone in the third. Thelstrom, long range pass, finds Federley, who tips it in. Here's Newberg on the counter. Sending it around, Heinzel heading after it. Those two come together, and Braden Simmons-Fisher pulls the puck out. He charges his way up ice. Simmons-Fisher on his backhand, drops the shoulder. Big defenseman in deep. Try to bounce it up high. That one, well, taken by Hullaby, and then he takes a big hip check from Adam Heinzel. Marty up to Kenny Stiles, has James with him, gives it to him. And Stiles back after that loose puck. Left it off for James. Rimmed all the way around to Johnson, fresh off the bench. Got past him. It will come all the way down to Nusiainen on the fresh ice. Too far in front of Connor Woolley, who wanted to head after it. Jumps in. Up towards Stiles. Across, Lockhart. Fanned on the pass, but did come to James. And now James with 5 hat tricks back. Banks it all the way around. Jumps in to James behind the net. Chases back after that puck. Cycles for DeCumbus. Head up. Sent up top. Lockhart down to DeCumbus. Trying to spin on LaBelle. Bussell knocked down by Josh LaBelle. And Ratcliffe takes the puck. But a penalty is coming up against LaBelle. Cross-checking is the call. That was called by the back referee all the way in the neutral zone. So Josh LaBelle is heading to the penalty box, and the Prowlers going to their third power play of the game. And a big opportunity. Well, the referees are conferring right now. And LaBelle is hesitant to head to the sin bin. The referees confer, and they confirm the call. So cross-checking signaled against LaBelle, and the Prowlers power play an early opportunity in this third period to tie things up. They send out Matt Graham's unit. He'll draw against Van Durken. LaBelle upset with the call. He certainly doesn't agree with it as he takes his seat. And as McCullum gets ready, we get set for this face-off. Tied up at the dot. Lockney trying to pull it out. Ends up on the near side half wall. Millette able to poke it deep. Federley bounced up to Millette. Now to Johnson. The Prowlers start to work it around. Lockney takes a look to Millette. Loads it up. Johnson fires. Saved by McCullum. And Millette grabs the rebound. Johnson walks over to Millette. Took a look. Found Federley. Johnson one-timer off a stick. Batted around. And Frolov able to send it down ice. 35 seconds gone in this Prowlers power play. A couple of Alex Johnson attempts to the net. And he has the puck now. Working on Ruiz. Johnson throws on the brakes. Ruiz giving him some trouble. Johnson into the offensive zone. Makes a move. Goes down to the ice. And the puck jumped out to neutral zone. Johnson thought there maybe should have been a penalty there, but he heads back to the bench as the other unit out now. 51 seconds left on this Prowlers power play. DeCumbus up to Thelstrom. Has help going towards the net. Lockhart shot stopped by McCullum. And that puck goes out of plays. DeCumbus found Brett Lockhart for a quick shot. Also had Simmons Fisher heading towards the net. Prowlers will go right back to that first power play unit with 41 seconds left on the man advantage, although Alex Johnson staying on the bench. Brett Lockhart will take his spot for this shift. Off the face-off, poked back to Lockhart. Down to Lockney. Takes a look, down low looking for Millette, who had snuck down to the side of the crease. And Justin Movalle got his stick on it. 33 seconds left on the power play for Port Huron. Good look from Lockney, but Justin Movalle with a good stick. Johnson comes out to rejoin the rest of his power play unit. Johnson pulls it off the draw. Now Lockney taking a look. Back up top to Johnson with room. He shoots, it's blocked. Federley got the rebound. Lockney with 20 to go in the power play. Steps up, shoots, and it's stopped by McCullum. Prowlers getting all kinds of rubber at Connor McCullum on this power play. Not all the shots getting all the way through, but putting plenty on net. 16 seconds left on the man advantage. Two shots credited, or 3 shots credited now. And they'll go for some more as Johnson rims it all the way around. Millette waiting for it at the line. Millette lost it to Newberg. He sends Robinson in shorthanded. Robinson caught up to by Millette. That will take care of the rest of this Prowlers power play. Millette with some skating room. Heads up ice. Into the offensive end. Millette spins back. Takes a look towards the net. Sent it there. It was blocked by Newberg. Lockhart with a toe drag on his backhand. Saved by McCullum. Rebound was there for a moment. And Lockney took a swipe at it, but McCullum covered. Nice move by Brett Lockhart to get himself free in the middle of the ice. But he was on his backhand. McCullum able to make the save. Brett Lockhart, one of a few Prowlers with family and friends in the crowd. Brian Parsons as well, both of them from Massachusetts. Of course, Danbury, the closest FPHL city to Massachusetts. Leon sends this one around. Woolley has Ratcliffe with him. Sends a rink-wide feed for Ruiz to skate into, but instead it's Parsons who bounces it back. Ratcliffe to the net, blockered by Nusiainen, gloved down by Woolley. Chased by James. Woolley cycles. Lockhart and Ruiz both overskated it. Parsons grabs the puck. Fires a long pass looking for Marty. Gonzalez got a touch on it, so no icing. Stiles right on net from the goal line, and McCullough made the save. Woolley out for Ruiz. 3 Prowlers back. Ruiz tried to dump it in. He hit Simmons Fisher with it, and now back the other way comes Stiles. Over to Marty. Goes right down to Stiles, left it behind the net. Simmons Fisher out to Marty. That pass handcuffed him just a little bit. He couldn't bring it in cleanly. Leon hanging out behind his own net. Both teams completing changes. 14 minutes left to go in the Scholes family McDonald's third period. Van Durkin splits through a couple of Prowlers. From the outside, saved by Nusiainen. He left a rebound, and Bussell able to clean it up. Bussell with a backhand launch. LaBelle kept it away from Millette. Simmons Fisher, watched by Van Durkin. Up towards Reggie Millette. Walks the blue line. And now hands off for DeCumbus. In with some speed from the outside. And he missed it short side. Caroms all the way out to the neutral zone. Bussell makes a move at the red line. Enters the offensive zone. Tried to give it to Millette. That one sent back out. Johnson able to keep Frolov from going up with it. Here's DeCumbus, had it poked off his stick. Lockhart backs him up. Lockhart with a sea of black jerseys right there. Sends it around behind the net. Out of Graham's reach. Bedard tried to move it up, couldn't do it. The hat trick swarming, able to take the puck. Robinson up for Frolov. His shot just went past the net. A little bit high, a little bit wide. The Prowler's stick got on that shot before it floated through. Johnson, long pass, hit Anderson with it. Anderson lost his stick. And the play actually offside at the Prowler line. We'll take a timeout. 12:36 left to go in period 3. And a little bit of a scuffle going on just inside the Prowler zone. We'll step aside here on the PHP Network.
At Hungry Howie's, we have a flavor philosophy. It's that you deserve to mix and match the most delicious flavor you've ever had with even more of the most delicious flavor you've ever had. But how can you mix and match the most delicious flavor twice at the same time? Well, we're not in the business of logic. We're in the business of blowing your flavor-loving mind with flavor upon flavor. Philosophize on that. Get any 2 items on the mix and match menu, including the 2-topping flatbread pizza for $6.99 each.
Hungry?
Howie's!
Back here in Danbury, it's about 7.5 minutes played here in the third period. And it's still a 2-1 lead for the Danbury Hat Tricks. Prowlers up on shots early, 5-2 in this third period. Shots just 18-15 in favor of Port Huron for the game. Both teams have done a good job of clogging up the neutral zone, clogging up shooting and passing lanes all night long. This face-off will come just outside the Prowler zone after the offside for the TV timeout. Newberg and Graham on the draw. And it's one back by Newberg. Sent around by Mavalli. Hullaby Had to go through him. Here comes Graham out of the zone. Over for Federley. As Graham going towards the net, just gets it deep, pop off, moved it around, right into Lockney. Felstrom with some space, takes a look, he shoots, he scores! Ludwig Felstrom took a look and sent a drive through and ties the score up for Port Huron. Great shot, a seeing eye blast from Ludwig Felstrom. The Prowlers' hard work in tight has helped tie this game. They get it in deep, they bounce it up high, and Felstrom with all kinds of room to take that shot, his 6th of the season. He snaps a 5-game point drought, and he gets some hugs on the bench after that one. And if you look at video of Ludwig Felstrom's goals this season, a lot of them those seeing eye shots. He's very good at placing that puck up high in the net, especially through traffic, and he did again right there. Adam Heinzel taking a look. Cycled down to DeCumbus. LaBelle stepped in front, but now Millet's with it. Works his way up high. Millet down low looking towards Heinzel. That one went off a Denbury stick, and McCullum had to make a glove save as Adam Heinzel snuck in from left point, and Reggie Millet tried to find him sticking down that backside. The Prowlers right back in the offensive zone after tying the game. 11:46 left to go here in regulation. Lucas Lockney and Matt Graham pick up the assist on the goal by Felstrom. So Lockney extends his point streak to 3 games. Or to 4 games, pardon me. And Matt Graham continues to be red hot. Points in 15 of his last 17 and 7 of his last 8. Jumps in, sent it down and around. Marty playing away from Bedard. Up high to Lockhart. Now James in front looking for Marty. He just didn't get a good stick on it as Dylan Marty was searching for his first pro goal. Frolov floated across towards Robinson. He and Johnson cancel out. James came back for the puck. And now it's tied up in the corner. James skates out with it, makes the move around Bedard, and he sends it around. Prowlers making a change. Stiles, the only Prowler in the offensive zone, has that puck, trying to waste some time, and he does. His teammates come in to join him. Now Stiles sent it around. Lockney skates into it, moved up to the point. Parsons. That shot got blocked, ended up on the half wall. Nobody knew where it was before LaBelle able to send it out all the way down. Ludwig Felstrom back for it, the only goal scorer of this 3rd period. Backhand pass got through Mo Valley, and they call that an icing. Wow, Mo Valley swung at that puck with his skate, and they still called it an icing. And it looks like they're going to give the my bad and put that face-off at center. Referees pointed at center. And indeed, that's where it will be, because Mo Valley swung at it kicked at it with his skate. They still called the icing. The referees emphatically deciding that it should be at center ice. That is the right call as Bussell and Newberg get set for the face-off. Bussell wins it back. Heinzel takes a look, goes up to DeCumbus, and Bussell able to send it in. Mavali able to get around Millet, tosses it out of the zone. Bussell recollects, fires it back in once more. Gonzalez off the glass out of the zone, and Millet will be the first one on it in his own end. Floated up to Bussell. He will chip around Mavali, but Dylan Hullaby comes back to take it away. Millet in on the forecheck. Now Hullaby around for Gonzalez. Starts the engines up ice. Prowlers back in numbers. Gonzalez chips it in. Heads after it himself. That one took a hop off the Zamboni door, and Heinzel able to collect over for Millet. Now Graham drops the shoulder. Drop for Millet. On his backhand all the way around the goal. Lockney takes the shot and a save by McCullum with Graham right in front. Johnson cuts that one off. Right back into the offensive zone, but his pass off a Danbury stick and out to neutral ice once again. We get back to some of that ping pong hockey here a little bit. Lockhart tried to dump it in, hit the linesman. Puck is loose, and Ruiz sends Woolley out. Spinning away from Lockhart. Woolley takes a look. Goes down to Ratcliffe. Johnson takes him in, and Lockhart takes the puck. And Lockhart will go back. Prowlers try and regroup. Van Durken right on Lockhart. Just floats it out of the zone, and LaBelle sends it right back his direction. Lockhart left it there for Stiles. Van Durken in on the forecheck, causes a turnover, with Stiles able to poke it away from Gleb Van Durken to prevent any more danger from that. And we will get a whistle and take a timeout. 8:36 left to go in regulation. Ludwig Fellstrom has tied things up. You're watching here on Prowlers Hockey on the PHP Network.
EDA, providing local business support for over 70 years. And helping to boost our region's workforce, retain and attract talent. Working to grow the local economy and the flow of money into our community to help businesses be profitable and focused on improving the region's economic strength and quality of life for residents. To learn more about the EDA of St. Clair County, visit edascc.com.
Explore 140 miles of stunning shoreline along Lake Huron in Michigan's Thumb Coast. Begin your adventure on a blanket of golden sand at one of our serene beaches. Connect with the historic atmosphere of our region's nautical influence and reconnect with friends under a blanket of stars. Plan your perfect getaway at bluewater.org.
8:36 left to go in period 3. Hat-tricks and Prowlers tied up at 2 goals apiece. Both teams short a player, Stefan DC for the Prowlers and Alexander Vasiliev, who went off all the way back in the first period. DC did as well, and neither has returned since. They're both short one forward. We get this face-off deep in Prowler territory. Van Durken and Stiles set to take the draw. Van Durken caused all kinds of trouble and forced the Prowlers to ice it just before the TV timeout. Here's Thelstrom trying to muscle Robinson off the puck. Van Durken turns it towards Frolov. Delayed penalty was coming up against Port Huron. A holding call signaled, so the Hat-tricks will go to their 3rd power play of the game in a tie game. Thelstrom the one who's headed to the box. And Denbury with a chance, 1 for 2 on the man advantage so far tonight to take back the lead. And again, all of that coming off the forecheck by Van Durken all the way back before the TV timeout that forced the Prowlers to ice the puck when it looked like they were just going to regroup back in their own end. LaBelle to Pamaleon, sent it on goal, saved Nusiainen as Hullaby got a good deflection. Johnson able to turn and fire it all the way down, but a great touch from Dylan Hullaby, and Valtteri Nusiainen with the pads down, able to make the save. LaBelle starts his way up, gets to the red line, looked over towards Pamaleon. That dump wasn't clean, and Lockhart sends it all the way down to McCullum. LaBelle all the way back for it. 40 seconds already burned off this Hat-tricks power play. Pamaleon skates it in this time. Plays it to himself, and now up to Ratcliffe. Down to Pamaleon, cycles. Hullaby around the boards. Ruiz, who has a power play goal in this game, stopped up by Bussell. 3 Prowlers, 2 Hat-tricks digging away there. And it comes out for Federley. Gets it off the glass and out of the zone. 55 seconds left on the power play for Danbury as both sides switching up the units. LaBelle to Woolley out the left wing, and Hat-tricks offside at the Prowler line. with 42 seconds left on the holding penalty to Ludwig Thelstrom.
Taking home $250.
PK so far for Port Huron. And still 42 seconds left to go on it. And Ben Durkin will draw against Matt Graham. Off the draw, Frolov had his stick broken. As he played it back to his defense, he'll have to go get a new twig. Van Durkin to Woolley, and he hangs out behind his own net. 30 seconds left on the man advantage for Danbury. Gonzalez weaves his way to the red line, drops it off for Van Durkin. Head up, enters the Prowlers zone. Van Durkin throws on the brakes, goes back to Robinson. Down and around, and Woolley waiting for it on the other side. To Van Durkin. Now Gonzalez straight on. Woolley takes a look down low. Frolov, Van Durkin got the shot off, and Nusiainen up to the challenge. Power plays over for Danbury. Robinson takes a look. His shot blocked. Brian Parsons got in the lane. Woolley to Frolov, one-timer. That one didn't get all the way through. I think it hit Van Durkin as Frolov with a quick catch-and-shoot wrister. And the Prowlers have iced the puck. Port Huron saying that that one deflected, but they will not get the benefit of the doubt. 6:04 left in regulation, and a big PK down for Port Huron, but still some tired Prowlers out there on the ice after the icing. Face-off will be to Nusiainen's left between Reggie Millette and Josh Newberg. Millette wins it back. Simmons Fisher rims it towards Luke James. He's able to work out of the zone. DeCumbus touched it at least into the Danbury end. LaBelle got it right back out. And Newberg is sent up ice. Long range shot blocked by Simmons Fisher. James able to take it away from Pamela. Newberg has it in his skates. Pops out, and Millette chips it past Hullaby. Millette all by himself, his team in the midst of a change. Drops the shoulder, and he had to sidestep Connor McCullum as he went flying through the crease. Couldn't bring the puck there with him. And LaBelle starts to work up ice. Long feed on for Ratcliffe at the Prowler blue line. Spun back, and he gave it towards Woolley. He and Lockney come together. Bedard up top. Rister blocked on the way through by traffic. And here comes Brett Lockhart hustling up. Gets around LaBelle. Lockhart. Back pass in front. Graham a drive! And that one stopped by McCullum. And now the hat trick's up with numbers. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Ruiz broke his stick on the dump. And here comes Lockney the other way. He rips it all the way around. And it comes to Van Durkin. Drops it off for Woolley, and he starts up ice. Soft toss. Heinzel to Simmons Fisher, up to Federley. Now Bussell has DeCumbus with him. Bussell shoots, save by McCullum. Jamie Bussell is looking shot the whole way. Robinson back the other direction. Bussell throws the body into Robinson as the puck slides right to Nusiainen. And we'll get a whistle and another face-off. Take our final timeout. 4:15 left in regulation in a tie hockey game.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rear-view mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
Welcome to McDonald's. How may I help you?
Can I please get a big...
What I need from you is a chicken Big Mac.
A chicken Big Mac? That's not a Big Mac.
Actually, it is.
It's not
a Big Mac.
Chicken Big Mac?
Chicken bag, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, and pickles on a sesame seed bun. Enjoy.
The chicken Big Mac.
It's not a Big Mac.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
we invite you to tune into our next broadcast. That will be tomorrow, Saturday, March 1st, when the Prowlers and the Hat Tricks battle for the final time this regular season. Puck drop is scheduled for 7 p.m., and the pregame show starts at about 6:45. It's all right here on the PHP Network. Had some great battles between these teams this season. Tomorrow will be the last one. Prowlers have come up on the wrong end of most of them, unfortunately, so far, but they have a chance here tonight to make a comeback and pick up a victory. It'll be Bussell and Van Durken on the face-off, and we're back underway with under 5 to play in regulation. Alex Johnson sends it around towards Decumbus. Robinson able to cut it off, couldn't make his way to the net. Decumbus up the boards, but Dard cut it off. His shot blocked by Bussell, and it gets into the protective netting out of play. Another defensive zone face-off coming here for Port Huron. Couldn't get it out of the zone there, and they'll send out a unit of Stiles, Marty, and James, pardon me, to try and get this puck out of the zone. Van Durken and Stiles on this face-off. Tied up there right on the dot. And it comes to James. He skates out. Indirect feed looking for Marty as to chase after it in the corner. Marty over towards James. Spinning in the corner to a side scrum. Van Durken digging away. James had it pop out. Frolov trying to control, and Parsons just could not keep that one in. It just did sneak over the blue line before Parsons brought it back in offside. Coming down to it here in regulation. 3:36 left. Shots 9-4 Prowlers in this third period. The 9 shots by Port Huron in this third, the most shots by any team in this game in any period. Just shows what kind of a defensive struggle it's been. Heinzel taking a look, and now he'll step out. Goes over the right wing side to Simmons Fisher. Chops it along in Graham's direction. LaBelle first on it in his own end. LaBelle starts to skate up ice. Leading the rush goes to Woolley. Tossed in behind the Prowler net. Heinzel able to take it away from Ratcliffe. Off the boards, Federley. Forced back by Woolley. Now for Simmons Fisher. Had it poked away. Here's Ratcliffe. Getting to the net. Good stick by Nuciani. He got the paddle down. Players went tumbling. And the Prowlers toss it out. Gonzalez sent it up towards Newberg. He tipped it in. And Johnson back the other direction to Lockhart. 5 hat tricks back. Lockhart lost it to Hullaby. Tried to toss it out. And Lockhart knocked that one down with a high stick. And we'll get a whistle and another face-off. Chaos right by the Prowler net as Ratcliffe dropped his shoulder to go to the cage, and Nuciainen put the stick down, got the paddle down to block it. Ratcliffe and the puck. And Ratcliffe went tumbling and Prowler went tumbling. Face-off now at center. Newberg and Bussell. Bussell wins it back. Johnson across to Millette. Back across to Alex Johnson. Thought about the long pass. Instead, he'll get to the red line. Tried to toss it in. Gonzalez gloved it down. Delayed offsides was against the Prowler, so Millette couldn't make a play on that puck. Gonzalez to Hullaby. Soft toss in. Nuciano all the way out of his crease to play it. Johnson forced back by Hullaby. Rims it around towards Millette. Off the Zamboni door. Nuciano came all the way out to knock it away, and Johnson is down in the corner, down in Prowler territory. They blow it dead. As the Prowlers started to move up ice, Hullaby was visor to visor with Jamie Bussell. We'll see where they put this face-off, see what the referees are talking about. Something happened behind the play between Hullaby and Johnson, I believe. it looks like Hullaby did get Johnson a little bit from behind as he released that puck. Referees are conferring right now. That's why Johnson was down. And looking back, it did look like it was a little bit from behind. Josh LaBelle and Austin Federley over there at the referee circle to get the explanation. This could be a critical moment in the game. We'll see if one team goes on the power play. Still a lengthy conversation. No penalty was called originally. But Justin Crawford and Mike Siegler, the referees, having a long conversation. Matt Graham over there as well. Looks like they'll put the face-off back in Prowler territory, and no penalties coming. Oh no, they'll put it right in front of the Prowler bench, pardon me. So we stay 5-on-5 with 1:43 left to go in regulation in a 2-2 game. Graham and Van Durkin this time on the face-off. And Parsons collects. Up for Marty. Gets around LaBelle. Marty to the net, centering feed. Knocked back by Bedard. A blast from Simmons. Fisher was blocked by Frolov. Graham trying to dig it out of Van Durkin's skates. Now Lockney and LaBelle come together. LaBelle won that battle, and he got the puck out of the zone. Parsons hustling after it. Up out of the zone, Van Durkin. Forced back by a couple of Prowlers. Got it across to LaBelle. He gets the red line, cross corner dump. Parsons after it. Taken in by Woolley. Parsons digging away. Comes over towards Simmons. Fisher has to play the hop off the Zamboni door. That gave him some trouble. Woolley takes a look towards the net. Graham able to muscle him off the puck. And here comes Millette along with Federley. 2-on-2. Millette waiting for help. Cycles it down the boards. Federley on goal. Save McCullum. The rebound just bounced past a couple of Prowlers. Diving play by Lockhart. Kept that puck in the zone. Bedard to Ratcliffe. Tossed out. Johnson over to Lockhart. And out of Federley. He tips it in. 18 seconds left to go in regulation. LaBelle looking for the home run pass. Couldn't find Ruiz. Comes all the way down. Icing called against Danbury with 10.3 to go. So a big opportunity here for Port Huron. Trying to set up one last play. Possibly to steal all 3 points if they can get a goal here. 10.3 seconds to go. Graham will take the draw against Ruiz. One back by Graham. Let's chip past Lockhart. Here comes Woolley. One last chance for Danbury. Woolley lost it as he tried to shoot. And a turnaround shot by Ratcliffe. Saved by Nusiainen at the horn. So it looked like an opportunity for the Prowlers. Ended up being an opportunity for Danbury. And Valtteri Nusiainen comes up with the biggest save of the hockey game, and we will head to overtime. Second straight meeting between these teams that will need more beyond regulation. Who will be the hero tonight? We'll find out when we come back here on the PHP Network.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Back here in Danbury, getting set for overtime. This is the third straight game the Hat Tricks have gone beyond regulation. They won their last two in shootouts, Saturday and Sunday. Meanwhile, for the Prowlers, this will be their third straight one-goal game, and they lost the last two, last Friday and Saturday. Of course, Saturday was here in Danbury. That one went all the way to the skills competition. Take a look at the records for these teams for games that have ended in overtime. Hat Tricks have yet to find an OT winner this season. Prowlers have won, but both teams with multiple shootout wins, and we'll show you those records if we get that far. Jamie Bussell scored the only goal of period one. Give the Prowlers a 1-0 lead. Hat Tricks came back with two in the second from Josh LaBelle and Johnny Ruiz. Then Ludwig Thelstrom, the only goal in the third, tied things up at 2. And that is where we stand. Final shots in that third period favored the Prowlers 10-5, 23-18 for the game for Port Huron. Prowlers start with Graham, Lockney, and Federling. Hat Tricks with Ruiz, LaBelle, and Ratcliffe. 3-on-3 overtime for the second straight week between these two teams is underway. Prowlers get the first touch on it. Hat Tricks outshot the Prowlers 4-1 in overtime last Saturday, but did not find a goal. Here's Lockney into the offensive zone. Gets to the middle, takes a look, his shot blocked by Ratcliffe. Lockney lost it to Ratcliffe. Now Graham recollects. He's in and now he circles back. Over to Lockney. Takes a look, his shot looking for the short side. Caroms all the way back to Prowler territory where Federley collects. Watched by Ruiz. Both teams making their first changes of the extra session. Johnson out with Bussell, and now Millette stepping off to join them. Millette pushes it past Van Durken. Reggie Millette stops up, takes a look to Bussell. Stick handles through a few hat tricks. Now Bussell tried to give it off for Millette, taken away by Frolov. Here's Van Durken with Johnson chasing. Van Durken turns. Pamaleon makes a move. Pamaleon walking the blue line. Handoff for Van Durken. Head up. He weaves. To Frolov. Shot blocked by Bussell. And Bussell's feeling the effects of that one. Trying to hustle to the bench, but he won't be able to. So a hobble Bussell out there with the hat tricks attacking. But the missed pass allows Lockhart to take control, and Bussell on one leg back to the Prowler bench. Lockhart flying up with speed on the right wing. Lockhart drags it through, but Gonzalez able to take it. Robinson the other way. 3-on-2 for the hat tricks if they hurry. Robinson watched by Marty. And now Hullaby goes back out to center, all the way back to his own end. 2:50 to go in overtime. Robinson on for Hullaby, and DeCumbus able to get it away from him. Robinson trying to recollect behind the net. Graham in there as well. Now DeCumbus with it. On for Dylan Marty in his first pro game all by himself. Works in. Marty lost an edge as he tried to make a move. Loose puck. Lockney on it behind the net. Lockney takes a look. Watched by Hullaby. Millette trying to join the play from the bench. Lockney up top now. Drops it off for Millette. Matt Graham also out there for the Prowlers. Millette kicked it over to Lockney. Takes the shot. Save McCullum. Rebound collected by Robinson. And he tosses it out right to Lucas Lockney. Lockney back in with speed. Over to Graham. On his backhand to Lockney. Works in. Save McCullum. Puck's loose. And it's still loose as McCullum made another save. Graham behind the net. Works out. He scores! Matt Graham picks the corner from the goal line. And the Prowlers win it in overtime. What a shot from Matt Graham, and now things breaking loose as the Prowlers went to celebrate. And players coming together. McCullum may have given a shot towards Alex Johnson. LaBelle and Hullaby trying to keep Johnson from getting at McCullum. Matt Graham with a wicked shot to find the top corner right from the goal line. McCullum may have been cheating the pass a little bit, and Graham found just enough daylight. Fans giving it to the Prowlers as they celebrate. And Matt Graham in a building that he once called home, trying his best gritty impression as he heads off the ice. And the Prowlers win it by a final tonight of 3-2. Valtteri Nusiainen back in the win column. Prowlers back in the win column. They pick up 2 big points as we're still not done. Prowlers heading off to their locker room. Finally, with the hat tricks, making sure they all get off safely, I'm sure. Adam Heinzel and Yoshihiro Kurioa, the backup goaltender tonight, exiting. And finally, we can put this one in the books after a little bit more barking from Connor Woolley and Dylan Hullaby. Prowlers come back to win it 3-2. And Matt Graham, the OT hero. These two teams will be right back at it tomorrow night. And that will be a 7 o'clock puck drop. So tune in right here on the PHP Network. But for right now, keep it here for the post-game show. It's next.
Seriously not even that much better than you.
Should have just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it! I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com. Back here in Danbury, Prowlers come back to take an overtime victory over the Danbury Hat Tricks. 3-2 the final time now to go back through this one goal by goal. Well, it started in the first period, and it was the Prowlers who got the first goal of the night. A stretch pass from Braden Simmons-Fisher on for Jamie Bussell. Able to send Bussell in on a mini breakaway from the Hat Tricks blue line. He beat Connor McCullum to the 5-hole. Dylan Hullaby, Stefan Deasy was right there just to make sure that that puck got to the back of the net, but it did. And the Prowlers held that 1-0 lead into period 2. And the Hat Tricks got a couple of goals. Off a turnover, Johnny Ruiz found Josh LaBelle, and his one-timer tied things up at 1 at that point. And then later in the period, Hat Tricks got a power play, and Ruiz with a wicked wrister from the left wing circle, able to give Danbury its first lead of the night. Midway through the third, though, Ludwig Thelstrom with a slap shot that was in the perfect spot to beat Connor McCullum and all the traffic in front of him. That tied things up at 2 goals apiece and sent the game to overtime, where Matt Graham was at the side of the net, possibly looking past. Connor McCullum may have thought pass as well, but Matt Graham decided to shoot it from right at the side of the post, and he caught the top corner, and the Prowlers come out of this one with the extra point. And the 3 stars of the game tonight, Ludwig Felstrom with that game-tying goal. Johnny Ruiz, the 2nd star, with a goal and an assist. And Matt Graham with the game winner and an assist as well, tonight's 1st star. Take one last look at the total stats from this game. Prowlers outshoot the Hat-Tricks 4-0 in overtime, as Valtteri Nusiainen didn't have to do much of anything in the extra session. Hat-Tricks do get 1 power play goal, but that 3rd period was quiet on the penalty sheet, and no penalties in overtime either. For the Prowlers with 14 shots in the 3rd period and overtime after just 13 in the 1st and 2nd periods combined. Hat-Tricks end up with 18 shots after 5 in the 3rd. The Prowlers with a huge 2 points tonight, and they'll try for more tomorrow. But before we get there, we'll be right back. And we take one last look around the FPHL before we wrap this one up here in Danbury. So don't go anywhere. More coverage is coming up here on the PHP Network.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
We'll welcome him back one final time here at Danbury Ice Arena. Prowlers come away with a 3-2 overtime victory. Before we close this one out, let's take one last look around the FPHL at our out-of-town scoreboard, all the other finals around the league. And we start with the Black Bears and Dashers. Of course, Binghamton winning that one handily, 9-0 the final. We already talked about that one. Tyson Kirkby with a hat trick and an assist to lead the way. Thunderbirds pull out a 3-2 regulation win over the Watertown Wolves. Great news for both Hat Tricks and Prowlers fans, as Zach White scored twice. Gus Ford had 3 assists, and White had 2 goals in the 3rd period, exactly 3 minutes apart. And the Thunderbirds with 3 points that are big for them, but even bigger for the Prowlers and Hat Tricks fans who want those points taken away from the Wolves. Bobcats able to barely hang on against HC Venom. They had a 4-0 lead at one point. It got cut to 4-3 with still over 7 minutes left, but they're able to pull it out. Danny Martin with a goal and an assist for the Bobcats. Dustin Gesso, a goal and an assist for the Venom. Moving along, the Rock Lobsters completed the comeback at home, trailing 3-1 in the 3rd. They come back and get a 4-3 shootout victory. Philip Virgili scored the only shootout goal, and Malik Johnson had a 3-point night, and it was the Lobsters pulling that one out against the new look Moccasins. River Dragons also with a comeback win. They scored 5 straight after going down 2-0 against the Motor City Rockers. They end up with a 6-3 victory. Nolan Slahecka had a 3-point night for Columbus. Of course, here, Prowlers with a 3-2 victory in overtime over the Danbury Hat Tricks. Once again, these teams will meet back up tomorrow night at 7 p.m., and we will have it for you here on the PHP Network. Thanks so much to everybody here in Danbury helping out with all the tech stuff and giving me the use of the camera this weekend. And thanks so much to everyone who tuned in tonight, spending your Friday evening with us. That's going to do it for me here. I'm Will Wiggleman. Thanks so much once again for tuning in. We'll see you next time here on the PHP Network.